If you've got a passion for pumpkin, you've got to get to Dunkin' and pick these up. Our new Pumpkin Cream Cold Brew. Smooth, bold cold brew topped with velvety pumpkin cream cold foam. And our delicious Pumpkin Spice Signature Latte. Rich espresso topped with whipped cream, caramel drizzle, and cinnamon sugar. And our perfectly pumpkin donuts, munchkins treats, pumpkin muffins, and more. That's how we pumpkin at Dunkin'. Pick your pumpkin at Dunkin', like our new Pumpkin Cream Cold Brew, Pumpkin Spice Signature Latte, and our perfectly pumpkin treats. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Exclusions apply.
Hear that? Is that America cheering or a sausage patty sizzling to perfection? It's time to cheer for Egg McMuffin and fresh cracked eggs at McDonald's. It's time to wake up to the aroma of freshly baked biscuits and treat yourself to a real honest-to-goodness morning meal. Breakfast, it's on at McDonald's. Now enjoy a large iced coffee for just $2. Add a breakfast sandwich to make a meal. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and here with me I have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Just coming back from vacation, celebrated my anniversary, and it's been a year. So I was in Boston over the weekend and had a very good time, actually. So, yeah, man, just ready to do some One Nation Radio. I'm all caught up on the wrestling as well. Checked out Rampage earlier today, as well as the Stardom show. So we got a lot coming on that. And besides that, man, not much. What's up with you?
Same. Like I watched Rampage today. I did not watch it Friday because I was trying to get myself some sleep before I watched the Stardom show. They kind of threw me for a loop this time around. It wasn't at like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. It started at midnight. And I was like, and I didn't realize it until like I was about to go sleep. I was like, oh damn, well I just got like. And I hadn't slept for like 2 days, so I was trying to finish out that column, and I just couldn't sleep. Plus, like, I was sleep deprived, so I couldn't like put the words together, and it was hard. And then like, it took me forever to finish it. I got it put up literally like as the show was starting.
Yes, that's right, man. James made his column debut.
Oh, Lord.
I've been trying to get this man to write forever. His man finally, what made you do it?
So, I was actually telling someone about this on Saturday. I figured that someone would write this column, right? And I kept looking at the places where it would naturally come from, and I never saw the column. I'm like, damn, it's Tuesday. Where's the column? Damn, it's Wednesday. Where's the column? I don't see any put up. And then, by the time I got done talking to Imp and I was like, in the middle of the show, I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to say it that I'm going to do the on the podcast with Imp. I was like, I said it on there as like, so just to say, I'm going to write the column. Therefore, now I have to. I can't just all of a sudden like, oh, it never shows up. So once I put myself under pressure, I was like, fuck, I actually have to write this thing. So then I tried to figure out how to put it together in a way that flow showed like their paths and then get there because it's a 4-year story or 3.5 year or damn near 4-year story. And I'm just like, all right, how do I do this? So then, I just started cranking the thing out, and I already knew I knew what I wanted to say for the most part. The problem is like it's trying to organize it in a way that like someone that could read it that's not like that doesn't watch Stardom, and do it concisely without having to feel like I'm just exposition dumping you with a million things. I think I probably still did that, but at least it was like stuff that I felt like was important. So it just came out, and then like I couldn't sleep, and then I got more and more tired. I was like, I can't put words. What are those? What are words? Like it was just one of those. Like I couldn't. And then I got to a point where like, okay, I have my track of the what the white belt, why it's so important to Tam and what she went through to get to it. And then I got to a point where I was like, how do I finish this thing off? Like I know how to finish, but I was like, how do I connect it? And then I was able to do that, but I was just like, it was hard. And like the fact that I had no sleep made it even harder. And then like once I got it done, I was going to have Jeremy posted obviously, but Jeremy was busy man on a Friday night putting in work in these streets.
Shout out to Jeremy.
So he could get to it. So I was like, damn, I really just finished this thing. And I got to a point where I was like, you know what? It didn't get up. I'm just going to send it to...
This man was going to quit.
I'm going to send it to... You stupid. No, I finished it. I was like, I'm going to send it to Rich, obviously. I sent it to you before I even hit up Jeremy about it. And then, like, you know what? It's not going to get up. It's never going to make the cut anywhere. Whatever. It is what it is. Let me send it to JML. Let me send it to our Niagara Driver. Armani Shoes. It changes a thing, but Niagara Driver originally. And I was like, all right, let them read it. Because, and they both... like really responded to us. I was like, all right, I don't know. And then, I think it was JML was like, hey, like, why don't you just, do you talk to Voice of Wrestling? Have like Richard or Lanza put it up. And I was like, well, I met Lanza once, like in New York for WrestleMania weekend, but like, that's the most I do. I never interact with him on Twitter. And then I was like, you know what? I know Rich has a column up, for a couple months ago or whatever else. So like, maybe if, he'll facilitate, and then sure enough, you was on your, your Magic Johnson shit, and end up going up. So yeah, like, I don't know if it came out earlier, more people saw it, whatever else, but it is what it is. It came out when it came out. People liked it that I saw Reddit. So that's cool.
Awesome, man. Where can everybody find it? Like, make sure you put a link to it and let them know like the name of it, because people can still read it. So I suggest, especially like if you watch that video package, it's kind of like the same thing.
Video package. Oh, you mean in the intro? Or for the match?
Before the match, yeah.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, so yeah, I'll do that. I'll put the link in the description for it or whatever else. It's when I wrote it, I didn't have a title in mind. I was like, I know most people when they write or whatever else, like people come up with the headlines for them, and then you were like, you better make that shit up. I was like, I ain't got none, bro. I don't. And then you were like, I made a joke about like, you mean to tell me after me writing all this out, like this isn't the main event, this is the main event, get the fuck out of here. And then you're like, well, that should be the title. Like this isn't the main event ? And I went with that just off the strength of you. Like, may as well. That's better than nothing else. I was like, huh, all right. How much? Oh, like, I don't think I'm ever going to do writing again unless something else happens. But the death spot did like that.
More I don't know how y'all do storylines to culminate.
I don't know how y'all do that. Like, I know this obviously like writing is similar to like working out. Like, you got to keep it.
Just gotta practice.
Yeah, you gotta practice, keep it up. But I was like, nah, bro, I never want to do this again. Like, I wrote 1,600 words?
Look,
or 1,700 words, something like that?
Imagine writing a hit piece or something. Oh my god.
No thanks.
like when I was kneecapping Hulk Hogan like twice a month, that was great for them couple weeks. Oh man. But yeah, man. Yeah, definitely y'all check that out and keep sharing it and all that stuff. Let's try to keep it in circulation. But yeah, man. Fury versus Wilder happened this weekend, part 3, and Tyson Fury, once again, with the big knockout in the 11th round. Someone's going to have to show me somebody that could beat this man or could have ever beat this man. Like, this man, Fury, is not a joke. And Wilder, like, took ungodly punishment throughout this fight. He is a man, as they say. And it's amazing that he's 6'7", 230, and he's the little guy. Like, trying to fight this dude, Tyson Fury, who is 6'9", 280, will box you, will knock you out. And he has amazing heart that, like, you don't ever see. How many times this man got off the canvas, like, in this, like, trilogy? Like, think it's over? No. Like, I'm back, you know? Fourth quarter, I'm back.
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing about the third fight was, I think this was the most punishment either one of them took in either match. To be quite honest with you, like, I think that Wilder took more punishment in this match than he took in the second match, and I think that obviously this is the most damage that Tyson Fury ever took in any of the first two matches. Not even close. And I don't know what happened. I don't know why Wilder was able to land at this rate compared to the prior two matches. I don't know, but they were throwing bombs, and like, it was ugly at times, and it looked disjointed at times, because, you know, Wilder, when he misses bad. Like, he's a wild swinger, and well, I don't know if he's a wild swinger, but he's wild at missing punches. Yeah, it was just like, I didn't even start to watch this match. This fight, because I was like, man, like, well, Fury just gonna beat him again. And I decided, like, once he told me that it was either you or Kirby told me that they were coming out for the walkouts, and I was like, all right, let me go find this thing and go watch it. And man, I'm glad that I wasn't able to get a stable viewing situation until like the second round, but I'm glad that I did, because like, that was a blast. It's one of the best, like, boxing fights I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it just was.
Yeah, like, these guys, you talk about emptying the gun. This is one of the best fights I've ever seen also. And it's just looking like Fury's just an all-time guy. Like, Andreas Hale, I believe, was like, hey, it's time to start talking about, like, you know, his all-time stuff. And I know that he doesn't have like the deep resume of everyone else, but like, what he does have is he fucking ended that Klitschko fucking shit that went on for a decade. He also got Deontay Wilder the fuck out of here twice in a row, and then some would argue a third time. The first time they went at it. Well,
I mean, the first time they fought, like, Fury like won all but like 2 rounds.
Yeah, like, he's consistently outstruck him in every fight, like, doubled, tripled him up.
Well, this is one thing I'll give Wilder, is that we still do in judge boxing like as a stat sheet, as opposed to like how we do in MMA, where we're like, we're using the context of what the blows represent in the context of the blows. Like, these matches are a lot closer if these were judged under like MMA, like violence and striking and damage judging. So he does have that, like, because, you know, he's dropped him with some fucking bombs. Like, the one he knocked him down with, when he was fucking dead in the first fight, was just like unbelievable. That's one of the hardest I've ever seen. That's like about the hardest I've ever seen anyone get hit ever. Maybe, and he just got up like the fucking Undertaker. Right? Yeah. Or Mayu Iwatani, but, or Kota Ibushi. But yeah, like, so, you know, like, I think he deserves more respect than we're giving him. Like, I think that, like, I would love to see him, you know, fight some of the other guys aside from Fury and see where he ranks, where he, you know, goes after that. Cause like, there's also something to be said about like his jaw, because he, you know, I don't think necessarily Fury is necessarily for a heavyweight, a weak puncher, but he's hit him with some dead to rights punches, and like he's ate them and kept going, and it has withstood a lot of punishment. So I wonder like what it would look like if he were to fight some of the other guys, like obviously Josh or whatever else, but who knows with Joshua now, because he's out here getting beat by people with bad physiques. But
like Anthony Joshua making dudes famous, making dudes household names out here.
But I would just like to see like, I think that Wilder has performed well enough in fights from a taking the punishment standpoint of 2 and 3 to where you could say that like, especially in 3, that you could say like he should still be a money fight guy with the right person. So we'll see where this goes. Like I don't think he's done. Like he'll never draw again on a pay-per-view. I think he should still be a pay-per-view guy.
Like there's a reason that Karl Malone and John Stockton don't have NBA championships, because Michael Jordan was on the other side. Like there's a reason that Deontay Wilder is not the world champion. It's because Tyson Fury was on the other side. Like on a lot of nights, he would get the job done, but like Tyson Fury is like something else. Like he's an animal. He's a bear. He's light on his feet. And the thing is that's impressive, I think, about Wilder is like, this isn't anything Wilder didn't know. He didn't go into this fight under some grand delusion, despite what I think he put out in public as far as all the excuses.
The cappery.
Yeah, and all that shit.
The caparation.
I think deep down, he knew the truth that he was not better than this guy. And he couldn't do shit with him the first 2 fights, really. And he still walked in there and gave it his all. Like, I think there's something to be said for that. But, like, Tyson Fury's like, you got to find me somebody in the rich history of boxing that would have whooped that man's ass. I don't know who it is. Like, you want to talk about Muhammad Ali? Muhammad Ali was 210 pounds.
Too
like,
small.
I'm sorry, they're all too small.
Too small.
Like,
too small. Like, I guess the best person you can come up with would probably be like Lennox Lewis. That's it.
Lennox Lewis is probably what you're looking at. And
doesn't it feel wrong to have to call him Lennox as opposed to Lennox after we've called him Lennox for like our entire lives, and you're like, oh yeah, it's actually Lennox. It's like,
Lennox.
Can you just give us this one? Damn. Yeah. What were you saying about Lennox? Lennox.
Yeah, I think Lennox, like, you would have to look at him, I think, but like there's no Fury losing his focus in the ring. Like, he might lose his focus out the ring, but in the ring, like, there's no Hasim Rahman like style knockout or anything like that. Like, I don't know, man. And I like Fury for like all the stuff he kind of like he's vocal about. I like him for the fact that he talks a bunch of shit, so he's entertaining. And Wilder didn't give him the handshake after the match, and they've still got something between them, but hopefully they can make peace one day with whatever the fuck they need to, as far as like how the boxing rivalries are.
I think they will eventually, because they'll go get together and be like, we made a whole lot of money. We made a whole lot of money. So even Tyson and Holyfield came together, and like, once you bite my ear, dog, I want to take it to the trunk on you. So, about my parts of my ear off. And they have, over time, came back together. Obviously, Tyson's in a whole different, space than he was then at the time. But I think, over time they'll come together, and I think there'll be, good documentaries over this thing. 'Cause like, when's the last time we had a heavyweight trilogy like this?
Shit.
Not in our lifetimes.
Nah, like nothing in the 2000s. I can tell you that. In the like 2010s, like
what would you have, like Bo and Holyfield?
That might be it. Bo and Holyfield.
That might be it.
Tyson and Holyfield. They only.
But Tyson and Holyfield was like one side, and he whooped his ass, and it wasn't nearly that entertaining. Except for the only thing, and people only remember is like he bit his fucking ear off or parts of his ear off.
And also with Fury, we've seen how it goes in the ring for him when it's not going well. Like, there's no like, hey, aura of invincibility that's shattered with Fury. It's like, it can go wrong, but he can come back. And,
right.
Yeah, man. Like, somebody got to show me. That's all I'm saying.
And I think the one thing that was so like incredible about the effort that Wilder gave is like, that dude for big stretches of that match had nothing in the tank. He had nothing. And I remember sending a message to y'all. I was like, maybe like 6 rounds in, 7 rounds in, 8 rounds in, after, you know, they were getting in the clinches, after like one or two punches getting in the clinches, and Fury just leaning on him and leaning on him and leaning on him and dropping his head into him, like, you know, like so, just like a bald headed boxer would do, right? And I was just like, bro, he ain't got 12 rounds at this level. He does not have 12 rounds in him, and he didn't go down until 11, which was impressive. I thought he was finna go down a few times earlier, like before we even got to like round 8. I thought he was finna go down for the count. So I was, you know, it was really impressive.
He was a way different fighter after.
And you can argue, given some of them knockdown counts, the first 2, like, he should have got him out of there. He didn't really make a regular 10 count.
Yeah,
you could easily make that argument.
I think the ref definitely looked another way, looked the other way a little bit.
Yeah.
So for all that, Wilder almost won. So make sure like to not do, like, the jokes are funny, right? But also realize what exactly you're saying, because this is like another guy that's like possibly an all-time great. Who knows? Boxing is very hard to quantify like that. But he's one of the best heavyweights of this. He's one of the best heavyweights of this era. Like, you're gonna have to talk about like Foreman, Ernie Shavers, something like that. That's the class you're talking about. Ken Norton.
Like, seriously, who hits harder than him?
Like,
I think he hits harder than anyone ever.
Like, he has a right hand that is just
the right hand of God.
Like
the right hand of God.
His right hand is like Omar's shotgun. It's putting you down. Like, so. Yeah, I think that's it for that. But we have AW this week, along with SmackDown. They're going to be head to head. SmackDown is going to FS1 this week, so in going to FS1, they've decided to load up and also extend, because they really do not want to lose to Rampage. I don't think they were going to lose to Rampage anyway, but they have decided to basically
move it over to FS1. They have to change channels.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I've seen some of the FS1 numbers in previous times, and they have sucked.
They've sucked, but I think the reach is a little bit like further. They've got the bigger star power, especially like with what WWE is going to do for this week, as far as like trying to load it up, and they're doing no commercials in that half hour. I mean, like, they're doing all the underhanded, dirty tricks.
But you also got to account for the fact that like FS1's reach compared to in households compared to like TNT's. So there's also that's offset. Like maybe we'll see. I don't know what's on Rampage this week. What exactly is on SmackDown this week?
So they're doing Sasha versus Becky. They're doing Brock, possibly both in those half hours. They're also doing Finn Balor and Cesaro, I believe. They have a couple matches lined.
This is all in a half hour? What the hell did they put on the 2-hour show?
Well, no, it's like like they haven't told us, but we know what's going to be in the last part. It's going to be Sasha and Becky and Brock all in that half hour, and probably Roman. So like in response, like to this, like, I mean, basically
it's still a third hour.
Yeah.
It's still a third hour. And it's still Friday. It is still, FS1 and not TNT. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
In response to all of this, TK decided to, like, drum up basically the, fan the flames and rile the base, and saying, I've been looking forward to beating your number one show. It's on. Essentially, we ain't backing down. We here. They don't have, like, some super card lined up, but Rampage is live next week. So it's going to be Punk versus Matt Sydal, I believe. They're going to have a couple more matches. I'm not sure of the matches that they have, but it's not some blow-away card or anything. But I think he's trying to rally everybody, and I don't think they're going to win. As far as like the demo and all that, I just feel like SmackDown like has like too much behind it, like, but anything can happen. I love what TK did. TK came out here and got people really upset. Like, I think people gotta like people were woken up just like waking up the next morning seeing this and wanting blood. As far as like people that don't like Tony Khan, immediately just in meltdown mode. Just the gall that they would dare mention WWE. Like, what did y'all not get? Like this, like all this shit is like so soft to me. Like, as far as like people pearl clutching and like not wanting people to have smoke. Like, you're watching wrestling. Y'all want some We Are the World shit? Go elsewhere. Like,
start listening to rap.
Right. You want some We Are the World shit, pull up, AIDS in Africa relief songs. Like go somewhere else. Like, this is like from the day AEW opened, WWE has had them in the crosshairs. Like, and it's okay to admit that. And it's okay to say AEW's like, yo, we're trying to take them out or at least compete. I think AEW was a little bit... some of the language they use, I wish they would lean more into this energy. Like when they're talking about, oh, it's just an alternative and all this other shit. It's like, no, man, nobody's coming out here to be number two. Like, somebody like they clearly want to do great shows. They do great shows. Mm-hmm. They already are competing quality wise, or I wouldn't even say competing. They're smashing them quality wise. But
ever since they basically like gave up on NXT, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the discourse because I love seeing it, and I love when TK flexes like this, and it's like. It fires it makes all the right people angry and fires up everybody else.
Yeah, like I at this point for me, I roll my eyes and just move on. Like, it's not something I'm gonna spend much of a time on. Like, it's not something to really get mad about. It's like he's not. I don't think he's going over the line, right? Like, I think him talking about I'm sorry, CM Punk. This was before CM Punk was actually in AEW, when he was out here giving it to Miz. What was it, last year or something like that? About him told him to go suck a blood money tip dick or something like that. I was like, all right, that's too far. Relax, bro. You don't need to come out here and tell this dude to suck a dick. What the fuck's wrong with you? But yeah, I think like, what the fuck's wrong with you, CM Punk? Yeah, as far as that. I'm kind of numb to it as far as them throwing shots at WWE. For me, I think it would be more fun if WWE was throwing shots back, but like they don't want to do that to acknowledge their existence, except for like, put a show on to run the opposition against it and stuff like that. Like they're kind of like, they're doing and saying opposite things, right? But
the energy never matches the actions. Like, yeah. These people come out here like, and I think.
What was the story about Liv Morgan recently?
I believe she was like tweeting with Britt Baker online.
Yeah.
And then like her stans were trying to tell her not to do that because they thought that Liv Morgan's push would get ruined. I'm like, what are you people watching?
Oh, God.
They have told you repeatedly they do not give a fuck about this woman.
Yeah.
Have you watched the Live Forever app or documentary?
No.
I know you have, because I've watched it. It's nothing but dysfunction, chaos. They don't know what's going on minute to minute. Her best friend wrestles for AEW now. Everyone in wrestling knows each other. But how dare this poor woman use Twitter to like a normal person. But y'all psychos come out here and think this is going to ruin something, as if you haven't seen the card and the show you love ruin everybody else. Liv Morgan wasn't getting pushed for years before Twitter. And she was on there with Ruby and AEW. Liv was never getting pushed. She's getting her matches yanked from the pay-per-view and put on the pre-show.
Yeah.
She's losing in 90 seconds to Carmella. What?
Hey, man, gotta hold on hope. Well, you don't have to,
hope
but
is
but
one
people
thing. Delusion is another.
It's a thin line?
Yes.
It's a thin line? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I just, look, everybody has their favorites or whatever else, if anything they watch. And I just think that if you feel the need to go online to tell people how to behave online to then protect their careers, I think that like you're sending that energy towards the wrong people. It shouldn't be that Liv Morgan needs to like behave a certain way so that she won't get punished. It needs to be like this toxic workplace that we're in needs to not be toxic. So therefore, like some people can like kind of like act like it's a normal job and not like treason. Like that's kind of how I'm mad on it. It's like she didn't betray. Especially once I saw the thing that Brian Danielson posted about how like someone was hitting him in his inbox talking about like what was the quote? I can't remember exactly.
Like, I hope you die.
Yeah, It wasn't. I was thinking. I was making sure. Like, wait, I don't remember it exactly being a threat. Like, I'm going to kill you, but it was like, I hope you die. That's what it was. It's like, this is wild times, man. Wild times. But yeah, I just don't. I get it. I get why it happens. From that perspective, I get why it happens with the TK stuff, why it riles people up or whatever else. But for me, you know, like y'all can talk all that shit all you want to. What these shows hitting for? Like that's what it all comes down to. And you know, for all the shit people don't like about Tony Khan, and as far as you know, in the Young Bucks or Omega or whoever else, Cody. Or CM Punk especially, talking about like WWE negative light. When the lights come on, the cameras come on, and it's 8 o'clock or it's 10 o'clock, they go out there and get 40. You know? So it's like, at least they're backing the shit up. Imagine that kind of hell it'd be if they were still talking this kind of shit and they was, you know, it was out here, you know, not being good, not being PWG worthy after talking about how PWG only does X, Y, and Z. So, yeah, man, it's weird. It's weird. I get it, but it's kind of like for me, it's one of those things like I've learned to kind of just look at it, see it for that, and kind of like move on and not really pay too much attention to it. But TK, I don't know. Maybe you think any chance he's doing this kind of like detract from like what's happening with his football team?
Maybe. Urban Meyer had a hell of a weekend.
How long ago was that? Was that last weekend?
I believe that was last week.
We didn't even touch about it. Real quick. Hey man, what Herb doing, bro? What Herb doing?
This is. I believe this is your man, Jay.
What? How is Herb my man?
You know, I thought Herb was always your dog. Like,
look, I like Herb because Herb has a ruthlessness to him, right? Win at all costs. Like, they misbehaving on campus. I don't give a fuck. Can they ball? Percy Harvin is running his unit as a high school, as a 20-year-old. He gonna show up on Saturdays and ball. I don't care. Look here, staffer. If you got a problem with him, you fight him. Don't want to fight him? Oh, okay. So for me, obviously some of the things that happened with him, like I think it was not Greg Doyle, the assistant that he, or the strength and conditioning coach he brought in that has a history in college of, you know, being a racist, obviously can't fucking do that. Shouldn't do that. The situation happened at Ohio State where one of his assistants, you know, had abused his wife, and then like him and then Shelly and Herb knew about it and then like kept that on the tuck. You obviously can't do that. That's a fireable offense. So why he's not Ohio State? But somehow he didn't get fired. You know, like people joke about the whole. I think the reason why you say that like he's my guy is because like I don't hate him for the heart condition thing when he left Florida, because like I'm not. If someone tells me they're having a heart issue and then they go to TV and they go away for a year and then they show up, like. Was he supposed to know that Ohio State was going to magically like appear? Like he knew that Jim Tressel shit was going to happen a year after he had left. Jim Tressel shit didn't happen in 2011. He left in 2010 out of Florida.
That man knew the run was done. He had John Brantley in there that was about to go take the ship down, ruin the program, Greg Paulus style. I remember John Brantley. Like, it was like people thought, oh yeah, it's going down, and then he got a whiff of that, and he knew it was over. So that man was hiding out for whatever it may have opened up at that time, whether it was Texas, whether it was Alabama. I don't know who was hiring. They weren't going to be
Alabama because Saban had just got there in 07.
But a big job can open up at any time, and he just happened to put himself in the right place, and magically, he didn't need no more time with the family. Now, he didn't need no time for the heart condition no more.
Well, okay, so I don't know how the health works or whatever else or whatever, and the stress works or whatever else, but like, I don't know. I can't speak on that. Like, my whole thing is like, if you want to leave a job because it's going to suck, I'm not going to begrudge you. Why should you show up to work miserable? You got the money, take your ass on.
I agree with that, but that's what we were saying it was, and he could have just kept it a buck and say, yeah, the run's done. Here, I'm moving on.
You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't come out here in the future and recruit and potentially recruit houses and saying that, like, yeah, when shit gets rough, I'll leave your fucking kid on that campus and go to greener pastures. You can't get away with saying that. You know you can't. So,
look, should he go back to college now, right?
Hey, bro, who's that?
That is Logan.
Logan?
That is Catherine's family dog.
Oh. Catherine can't hear me, can she?
She can't hear you because she's in the headphones, or I'm in the headphones.
Okay, that's a white-ass dog. I always say this every time I see Logan. That's a white-ass dog. Tell Catherine I said hey.
James says hi.
Hi. Yeah, so anyway. But yeah, as far as Herb, like, to this, let's fast forward to like the current situation.
Look, basically, Urban's work shows that he will leave your ass in the dust. So he ain't gotta say it no more.
Yeah. Like, I remember saying that before this happened. Like, as far as like, what's his exit strategy? Get the fuck out of here, out of Jacksonville, to how to get himself out. I was like, hey, bro, like, one thing you gotta remember about Herb don't get fired. Herb leaves every single time. Like, even look. You can say about what happened at Ohio State if you want to. He did not get fired. He left. So you look at Bowling Green, he left for Utah. Then he left for Florida. And then he left for the TV. And then he showed up at Ohio State and he left. And then now he's in Jacksonville. So when this joint popped up, in my opinion, I was like, wait, is this a new one? It's like, I can't hit him with the health. I can't hit him with the heart. But what I can't hit him with is, I gotta go check for my family and all that kind of stuff. And, next thing you know, this man's out here by Compton, out here coaching these boys, coaching the Cardinal and Gold.
Suddenly, suddenly he has Snoop Doggy Dogg at the game.
Yeah. And Dr. Dre. Yeah.
Suddenly Reggie Bush is reinstated and allowed to interact with the university.
Yeah. I think he is now. I think he actually is now because they changed it. And I'm pretty sure he is now. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see how this goes. But it's
look, is Texas gonna be open anytime soon?
They got rid of Herman last. Remember, they signed Sarkisian this year.
That's right. Okay, he might have missed his window.
We'll see. We'll see how far. We'll see how long this blows over.
Yeah.
But like, look, man, that dude is in this millennium at worst the second best coach in college football of this millennium.
Great coach.
So you can say what you want to. You can say what you want to, and that's fair because there are plenty of things to say, and there are plenty of things that are not good to say, and things that like he should not be hired again over that's happened on his watch at different places. However, cutthroat gonna cutthroat, and he's gonna end up somewhere else. You best believe. And it's gonna be a hot spot. Like, we'll see where it ends up. Like, he's gonna end up back in college eventually, and he's gonna be at a big program. People are gonna be mad about it or whatever else, but they better learn to love it because I don't know what to tell you. But it's gonna happen. So be prepared.
The only coach that I want to suffer really is Dabo Swinney. So the day Dabo falls, we about to have a good, grand old time on One Nation Radio.
How you hate Dab more than me? And I don't even really hate Dab. I just think when he loses or he gets embarrassed, I just kind of chuckle at it. But like, because for me, it's like because I don't really think he's some all-time X's and O's guy. Like, he is a program builder. And it worked out at a great place that was coming into money and also was an untapped area of the country. So it worked out for him. But I don't really, like, if I thought he was more highly of his X's and O games and deployment or whatever else, I would probably like him less. But I just think like, okay, whatever, he's a jerk, and kind of chalk it up that. There are plenty of those.
Yeah. Some of the stuff he says just
stupid. Very stupid. Very holier than thou.
Doesn't jive with me.
Yeah.
So
when they start talking about the entitlement, they start paying these players. And, I think I'm about retired. You ain't finna walk away for no $8 million. You get the fuck out my face. Oh, they're paying players now. What the fuck you doing now? Where are you at? Oh, still coaching these dudes. Shut the fuck up. So from that perspective, I get you. Yeah. I rock with that. But for me, it's like I don't hate him outside because there's how many coaches that actually really feel like that. He just said it. Most of them.
Weird.
Can't be given the power of dynamics. What happens when what happens when like we pay them too much money? We can't run them until they puke.
You got to keep them broke. You know
exactly.
Give them some money, they liable to go crazy.
What happens? We can't motherfuck them.
Red Sox won. Wow, got the Rays out of here to the ALCS. The Red Sox gonna steal a championship this year, bitch.
So what's the situation with the Braves right now?
I think the Braves may be up 2-1.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right. That means they got to run to the Dodgers. So
yeah. So
good luck with that.
Interesting. So yeah, I didn't expect the Red Sox to get this far, but yeah, happy about that.
I didn't expect anyone to get this far. I don't watch. I stopped. Like once Derek Jeter in 2012 broke his ankle, or 2011 broke his ankle. I can't remember. I think it's 2011 broke his ankle. Like that pretty much is the end of my fandom. That was done. It's like, oh great, my favorite baseball player of all time is riding in the ground. This is the end. This is the end. He played one more year. That was the end. And like I really enjoyed the 2013 year. The year when it was basically just A-Rod by himself and he hit like damn near 50 home runs. Like I really enjoyed that year because like I feel like A-Rod gets too much shit. Like they hate him because he made a lot of money and he's handsome and he cares about what people thinks. Oh gee, what a shitty person. Like, oh, he's a phony and all. It's like, okay, shut up, you bigots. Like, shut up. So for me, like, I enjoyed that year, but outside of that, like, baseball, it's I used to be just a gigantic baseball fan. Like I grew up watching that shit, watching NL baseball, watching the Braves on the Superstation with my grandma, watching the Cardinals versus the Cubs. Like watching Sammy Sosa like twice a week, right?
I had incredible timing for my trip to Boston, right? Because when the Rays and Red Sox, like, had it broke my way, right? Mm-hmm. It was ironic because the day we left, they were kicking off game 1 here. So when we were up there, the games were being played here. I fly back. Game 3 is the same day in Boston. And the Rays didn't make it back to game 5. Like, if there was a game 5, I'd have thought about going. It would have been in Tampa. It would have been on the 13th or whatever.
Okay.
But, yeah. Incredible. So, let's get to this AEW, man. So, the Dynamite show last week featured, got the Super Elite taking on Bryan Danielson, Christian Cage, and Jurassic Express. Yep. This was great. Yeah. One big botch at the end, but besides that, what more you want? I think Dave was a little I think he's forgotten about a lot of the matches, the 8-man tags in AEW, because I remember the one last year with Loser Bros and Butcher and the Blade against FTR and the Bucks. Like, I thought that was absolutely insane. Like, I believe I gave that one 5 stars. Wait, and this match was not better than that.
What happened?
Dave said he would have given this 5 had they not fucked up the powerbomb.
Hell no. Nah.
Right.
It wasn't that good. Hell no. No.
Look, it was great. But
it was great, but no, it's not one of the best matches of the year. It was, come on, man. That's the thing with Meltzer. When and you look at his AEW star ratings, like, it's like this thing where, like, he just tacks on, like, a quarter to a half star to everything. Or not everything, to, like, a lot of these matches that are very good. Like, anything that's, like, above 3.5 stars, like, he's tacking a quarter star or half quarter star or half a star to it. And I don't know why. Whatever. Like, obviously, they're doing the wrestling he likes, but it's like, nah, bro. Like, you gotta chill sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you throw a Lucha Bros match out there, like, they're going to get 4.5. You throw a Young Bucks match out there that they're trying to have a great match, they're going to go get their 4.5 or higher. Same for Omega, right? But, like, that wasn't a 5-star match. Like, yeah. I didn't even consider it. I didn't even consider it I don't even know why he was considering it a 4 3/4. That's wild to me.
He gave it 4 3/4.
I probably would have went like 4.5. But
yeah, so like amazing, like Brian.
Great
Johnson
story, but it was a great. It was a great story. Yeah, that's funny. It was a great story, absolutely a great story. It reminded me a lot of the 12-man tag between Kenny and Hangman and FTR and the Young Bucks versus Dark Order, where you have like the injury and the babyface have to overcome, and they all fight their ass up for eventually number games overwhelms them. In a way, it also reminds me of, like, think of those Shield matches. The great Shield matches over time in the beginning of the last decade. Just like the numbers game, telling the story, and you just going on a ride of just like basically turning everything into like a, people just going on their own hot tags more or less. Before the Hills take them out, I thought it was a blast of a match. It's one of my 10 favorite matches of the year in AEW, probably too.
Yeah, man. I thought Kenny Omega was bumping like a madman in this match. Like, he was just taking all the offense from Brian, from Jungle Boy, from Luchasaurus. I thought Cole played his role like really well, especially like bumping for Luchasaurus. Yeah,
I thought they told really good stories of like, look at everybody that has smoke with each other. Like, right, like Kenny Omega just with the other 4 guys, he had smoke with 3 of them. All right, between Jungle Boy and Brian and Christian, and then you look at Adam Cole, he clearly has smoke with Jungle Boy. And Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus clearly have smoke with the Young Bucks over them not capturing the AEW world titles from them, or the AEW world tag titles from them. So it was like all of that stuff came into play, and I thought it was awesome.
Right. Yeah, super match, and he got hit with that BTE trigger at the end, the 4-way version. So like, you knew he wasn't getting up.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
When you catch one of those, you see what Jesus Christ looks like. The good Christian boy is sending people to meet Jesus with that move.
Oh God. Like bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, awesome match. I believe we've shared who bad guy is in the One Nation Radio Discord in the past. If you don't know, the bad guy also has an endorsement deal with the funeral home. So all you fuck niggas, please leave him alone.
The worst part is, like, you find out that, like, he actually was a bishop at church and he was using his church to shoot that stuff. And you're like, wait, what? How is this? How did no one find out about this? How is this allowed? How did the congregation handle this? How is he still on board? And like, I remember when you found him on Facebook and you were like, yo, ain't this? Yeah, it's him.
Like,
holy shit, that's really his church.
Yeah, like, this man's a full, now, he's a full, like, gospel artist or whatever. He doesn't do the street music at all anymore or whatever, but it was like, wow. It was like, I don't know what I had to type in to find that shit, but it's like, it's all completely different on his SEO now. It's amazing. But, yeah, super match. Moxley's backstage. He cuts a promo. He said he's lost patience for anything that takes patience. His daughter's driving him crazy. That's 3 months old, and she's insane. Well, look at her dad, John. He said AEW is his company, and that's his belt. So they're going to have a ladder match. Big CM Punk chance. Punk comes out. Another promo. And he does a fuck-up kind of. Asking about cheesecake and cake. And
yep. And I was like, that. Oh boy, you don't want to do that with Philly.
Yeah, like they'll throw something at you.
He rebounded, but I was like, how do you confuse Brooklyn with Philly? I don't know how you do that, my guy, but good luck with that.
He talked about how he was a head trainer or Ring of Honor. I always hear that, right? And that was like a 2-year period. do you know of any CM Punk students that like were out there or anything like that kind of came from that? Like, if anybody's listened to the show, if there's anybody you guys know like that essentially got trained by Punk and went on to do anything, I'd love to know who they were, because like I just don't know.
Yeah, I never heard of that until like that promo. No idea, no clue, knew nothing of it.
I knew about that. Like, that was on his Best in the World DVD where he was talking about he was the head trainer for Rihanna for like 2 years.
I guess I forgot then.
Long time ago. So he called out Daniel Garcia and said he's going to fight him later. So the crowd was real happy about that. Then Armed Anderson was in Cody Rhodes' backyard with the fire in hand, literally. He had a suit in the trash. Cody's coming down at like 1 a.m. Who knows what time it is? Fully dressed in a suit. Arn said, "Give me your tie."
He's fully dressed in his suit. What the fuck?
Like, what are you doing wearing this at night? This is what you wear when you wake up out of the bed or something.
Man.
Let me put this full suit on. Like, he couldn't come out there in regular wear.
Like he's like Barney. Like he's like Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother, where like he goes to sleep in his pajamas is like a silk and satin like 3-piece, and he sleeps in that joint.
Always prepped. So he goes out there. Arn wanted the tie. Cody didn't want to give it up. Arn slaps him in the face, gives us a nice gift for anytime Cody's acting ridiculous in these streets. And then Cody threw the tie in himself. The implication was Cody's going too soft. He's going to Hollywood. So, like, something's got to change with him. So last week I came on the show and I said that they were aware of, Cody's place now. There's like a plan in motion, like there's something going on. I believe that is the case now. I think even as back as far as like Double or Nothing, this was not the plan. Like, so I believe in the meantime, after Double or Nothing, and whenever they started to get whatever with Malachi Black in motion, something happened. And there's a direction being changed for Cody. But I watched Rose to the Top this week also, and it reminded me. I was like, there was no like with the stuff with the weighing on the scale and that segment being a disaster and everything. Remember how that match played out? Like, this is a coordinated plan from a certain point in time. This is not whenever people try to rewrite with Cody, like, oh, it was this every step of the way. It was not. I'm telling you.
Okay, I didn't watch Rose to the Top this week. Should I watch it? Was it as good as last week's episode?
I mean, you can check it out. Like,
how long is the show? An hour or a half hour?
It was a half-hour show. So maybe like 21 minutes.
I got 21 minutes to throw at that. Yeah, I got 21 minutes to throw at that. Yeah, like I guess I just won't watch a fourth Joshi show this week. Like, so yeah, I'll check it out. Why not?
So we got a video package introducing Bobby Fish to AEW. The one that went up on the Road to before this was about twice as long, and it was way better, and It was really great. And they showed him in an MMA cage, and he doesn't look like a grandfather anymore. He got that fresh Kevin Nash dye job. And he said Sammy's going to be the shortest reigning TNT champion in history.
Like, it's messed up now that, like, I think about that stuff whenever I see Bobby Fish. Like, the last year of Bobby Fish in matches, I checked, like, because of you talking about, like, the gray on his beard or in his temple. Like, I do check for that. Like, is this man going to come out here looking like, what's your boy's name? I can't remember. Buddy that was Green Lantern in the 90s. But, yeah, so I like the match. I really like the match if you want to get to the match.
Sammy Guevara versus Bobby Fish. He gave Fuego a new truck, and Fuego immediately wanted to put the truck on the line, and Sammy, he was like, "Nah, I'm kidding." And then we got Sammy, new belt in tow, defeats Bobby Fish, and this match was really good. Bobby Fish did a lot of fighting Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara had to fight back, and pretty much come out with a finish and out of nowhere, pretty much that shocked him for the win. It was pretty interesting, like, to see Fish come in here. They gave him the video package, and he showed up just with a different style, kind of I think the criticism that AEW doesn't have types of wrestlers like Bobby Fish anymore has to go, because it starts with Bryan Danielson and then it falls down as low as, like, I'm talking about just rank wise, like, as Daniel Garcia. Then there's like Lee Moriarty. There's like a ton of these guys running around now in the promotion. Fish is here now.
Wait.
There's more coming.
Yes, there are. I love it. Like, I've always liked Fish. He was in the clique of, like, the tough white men in NXT, that never division that NXT had going last year. And like, once, I thought once he got to the shot in NXT, or not NXT, in AEW, like, I was like, yeah, he's gonna do well, and he's gonna have good matches, because, like, that dude's a good wrestler, regardless of the fact that, like, he is always the Jannetty in whatever Undisputed Era tag team he's in. That dude can wrestle. And he wrestles in a way that was like, there's grit and meat on the bones and soul in those matches, that you can feel, like, the punishment in the matches coming out with the kicks and the strikes and stuff. And, like, him versus Sammy, like, Sammy needs matches like that. Like Sammy's not soft by any means, just he does crazy shit in his matches, like when he'll do a 450 a 630 on a ladder bridge. Like, you got to take a lot of punishment to do that kind of stuff. You're crazy. But, like, people are going to mark him as soft just based on how he looks, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you've made jokes about his appearance. I'm not going to say them online. I'm going to say it over the air, but, like, he's going to have to, like, fight grown men in while not necessarily looking like the grownness of men. And, like, I think he'll be for better for it. Like, that Miro match was a piece of that. Like, this will be going forward. Like, I would love to see him, like, mix it up with more guys that have matches like this, because it shows the versatility if he can do more than just do ridiculous high spots. So, I enjoyed it. And, like, I saw that they're going to do Bobby Fish versus Bryan Danielson next weekend. That's part of my fucking alley. Like, just the WWE never division that never was, man. We only got NXT, but, Danielson could have done that, and we're going to see it. I bet he was watching NXT back then and was like, man, I'd love to get in there with Finn Balor or O'Reilly or Fish or Thatcher or Ciampa or any of them, and he was like, I gotta, nah, I can't right now. So I'm sure he's happy, and, like, there will be more to come. And when some of these people come in, I've already been talking about the NXT takeover that's happening at AEW. But, like, once it fully congeals and happens, I'll be like, look, man, we had NXT for the longest, and Ring of Honor guys that came over, and PW guys came to NXT, and then, like, in NXT 2.0, and they don't want them. Like, if you don't want them, fine. Tony Khan will take every single one of them and book them better than this man ever would have in a million years. And then I'll be like, look, same thing that's happened with Aleister Black. You saw how Triple H booked this person. You saw how Vince booked this person. And you see how Tony Khan booked this person. You tell me who has a better fucking idea what to do with pro wrestling in the 2020s, Vince McMahon or Triple H and Tony Khan. You tell me. So, yeah. I just can't wait till more people come over, because it's gonna be more proof of, like, look, the story is apparently, like, Adam Cole, they wanted him to cut his hair, and he was like, absolutely the fuck not. Like, why
and change his name.
What are you gonna change his name to? What?
Something else.
Oh God.
Like, those are like
dumb.
The one thing. That's like one thing that gets him over to that level is Adam Cole, baby. Like, he would have had a whole new, like, get the fuck out of here.
It's almost as if they wanted to bring him up and then not get him over and not use him in that way. It's almost as if, like,
amazing.
Yeah.
There was a really cool, like, there was a recovery Spanish fly that I thought it was really cool in this match. And they were just standing. So,
Bruce has a question. He said, would it make sense for MJF to go after Sammy's title after his program with Darby? I feel like MJF has bigger fish to fry, like potentially, especially like looking down the road.
I think, yeah, I kind of feel like his track is he's tracking after the AEW World Title, and like eventually he'll be TNT champion, but like he'll be AEW World Champion first.
Correct. Yeah. Like he's possibly the next heel champion, I think, in AEW. So
yeah, that's what I bet on. Yeah.
Allmatic, what's going on? He says Daniel McAbey is going to get a dark match, put on a Fulham jersey for a match, and get signed. He said, pull a Daniel Bryan and call him Cole Adams. That's funny.
Cole Adams. Yeah.
That's funny.
Or Cole Adamson or something like that, yeah.
MJF versus Punk after Full Gear. I don't think so. I think that would be like next year, personally. Like as far as like when I say next year, like deep into the year.
It's going to happen eventually. I haven't really thought about it though. It's definitely going to happen.
So up next we got like the men of the year were charged the ring because go ahead.
Real quick. When they do that, I need my Wardlow CM Punk match first. I need that first.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
So if you guys caught the first episode of Rose to the Top, you guys saw during the first commercial, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page face off with Sammy, talking that shit to each other. So before the Bobby Fish match was made, so immediately when the bell rang, Men of the Year came out, America's Top Team surrounded the ring. Paige Van Zant got in, distracted Sammy Guevara. Scorpio Sky hit a cheap shot on him. Junior Dos Santos got in there, started ground and pounding. Fuego ran out and immediately got destroyed. Then Jericho's music played and he ran out with Hager.
Forever.
Yeah, there was some ass whooping going on. The fans like saying Judas, and basically Lambert told them all to stop. He said Jorge Masvidal, the real king of Miami, he's going to be where AEW is next week. And they wanted to match Inner Circle versus Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos. And Lambert got molten lava heat this whole fucking segment. Like, I don't like some of the stuff Lambert does as far as like the language that he peppers in because he's clearly dog whistling. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I think if you're saying like he needs to get the fuck out of here, like you're in denial at this point. Like,
yeah. I mean,
no,
like, I've liked him since his first promo and all the way through. Like, obviously, he, like you mentioned, like he, you know, he clearly is a lot of his verbiage is like MAGA stuff, obviously, but like it's he works for Top Team. Like I'm not shocked by that, right?
Right.
So like for me, he's. I think of him, I'm just like, yo, like, he is super talented as a talker, and, like, the fact that he was unfazed by that loud-ass crowd, and the fact that he was able to get off what he was going to say without being able to hear himself think at that point, that was really fucking impressive. And, like, the part that's crazy about it is, like, if Jim Cornette was just off his... I was saying this to Imp. If he had just shut the fuck up, he's clearly still a better talker than Lambert. He's one of the greatest talkers ever. He could be doing this. He could be doing this.
He has to do a podcast instead. Us. We are on the same level, James. Jim Cornette, One Nation Radio, exactly the same.
So my point of this, like, Lambert is going to win votes for, like, best non-wrestler in the Observer, and like for, you know, best promo in like the One Nation Radio Awards this year. He's going to definitely be nominated given the run he's been on. Like, and it's like, this could have been Jim Cornette. Like, this would have been a what the 80s, 90s, this could have been his fifth decade being an elite talker. His fifth decade.
And it's funny to see money just go out the window.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, he shouldn't have said the shit he said when he was doing commentary in NWA. That's the main reason why this isn't happening. But still, it's like all of this around him is because like he's been talking shit about AEW. People have been on his waiting for him to fuck up, and he fucked up.
Yep. So Bruce also says, will Lambert versus Jericho, the program, lead off Rampage to go head-to-head with Supersized SmackDown? I don't think so. I think they're going to put Punk there and then possibly transition into that right after, because they're going to have Junior Dos Santos. Personally, I don't think that's going to mean much.
Same.
But
maybe they think Masvidal just being at ringside is enough, because he's going to get involved in the match somehow with something physical.
Right. So they announced or there was a terrible verse by Max Caster in the pre-tape promo. Like, the verse he did on Rampage was light years ahead of this.
That was, like the Rampage thing he did. That was like I think that's probably the best one he's ever done. That wasn't like shock jockey, because obviously, when he talks about, Renee, it's like, all right, like, I get what you're doing. I don't care
I remember that one. So then now Shivani was in the ring with Aubrey Edwards. She pulls out the TBS championship. Immediately, everyone on Twitter began burying the AEW Women's Championship belt. They said there's going to be a tournament crowned in January when they move over, and secondary Women's Championship. I like this a lot better than Women's Tag Team titles, because I think if you do Women's Tag Team titles, you end up possibly in the same position that WWE is in with theirs. Obviously, you have, like, there's no division, there's no ranks or anything. There's random teams being put together just to fulfill a belt requirement. You can do stuff with this belt where that doesn't adhere to the rankings. It doesn't have to necessarily be the second pay-per-view match, because it doesn't necessarily have to be on the show. It can be on the show, but it doesn't at the same time. And I'd rather two singles belts personally. I would have rather seen a trios title over this. It's like, let's get to it.
In due time, I guess. In due time.
And Joe Lanza had brought up the point, like, they may have announced this to buffer some of the reaction to a trios title, like, oh, you're introducing another belt for the men, but what about the women? So I think that could be at play as well. But roll these fucking trios belts out, because I've been ready, bro.
Hey, fuck it. That squad of babyfaces of Riho and Stat and Ruby, throw them out there in the trios division. Who gives a fuck? Roll them out there. You wouldn't want to watch them versus Super Click? Because I would.
I don't know. But what do you think about a TBS title? I think this has Jade written all over it, so to keep her away from Britt.
I haven't really thought about who's going to be the champion. But obviously she's someone that there's a threat to win it, obviously. So it would make sense if she did. So whatever. Whatever it is, just as long as it's not Thunder Rosa, just keep her unbelted for now, so that she can eventually, over the next few months, turn her attention towards getting back to Britt Baker. But outside of that, put it on whoever.
So Darby did
put it on Serena Deeb after what she just did with Sheeta. Why not?
That'll work too.
Yeah.
Darby did a promo with Jim Ross, sat down. JR was uncomfortable last week talking about Darby and MJF. JR has seen shit escalate before. Darby wanted to elaborate on why he painted his face, so he retells a story about it, and he said his trust and respect for people was low. He faced death that day, but he's still here. MJF can do what he wants, but he's seen tons of guys like MJF, but MJF has never seen someone like Darby Allin. I thought this was great. This gave another depth to Darby. The MJF and Darby thing is like, obviously there's that four pillars thing in the forefront, but then there's like this also to it.
Yeah. Another reason I like Darby. Like, you actually feel like you know him, and he has a character or is a person behind, the gimmick or whatever else, and he's actually talking for himself. Yeah, man. He is checking off all the babyface boxes that you need. He really is.
Sam says, love this promo with Darby. He isn't bombastic, but he is a good communicator. He's super intense. Like, Darby ain't like he's not laughing about anything. He's not playing pro wrestler. Like he's I hate to say it, like he's a real character. Like so, Darby got Nick Comoroto out of here. This whole thing was.
I think it really matters that like his delivery is different than this typical wrestler thing. It makes him stand out.
And also, like, he already looks different than everybody else. He wrestles different than everybody else. So why wouldn't he talk different than everybody else?
He wrestles different than everybody else because he does so many crazy things. But at his heart, he's an incredible storyteller.
Yeah,
like he's just a great babyface. He just is.
Yeah. So Darby then beat Nick Comoroto. Most of this match was in picture-in-picture. Funny thing was QT hitting the diamond cutter on Sting after, and Sting immediately getting up and gave QT the Scorpion Death Drop. I died laughing. I was like, "What you think? Sting ain't took a diamond cutter before?"
Oh man, so many emotions when he no-sold that bullshit. Like so many emotions, all great. It's like,
look at QT like, making you feel good.
It was no. It was like, I might really want to see Sting versus QT Marshall. Who could possibly want to see that? And then as soon as I, like, in my mind I was thinking, like, this is bullshit. I don't want to see that. Like, Sting was like, don't worry, James. You ain't got to see me do that bullshit. We ending this shit tonight.
Immediate blow off. That was the finish.
Got up, no slow that shit. Dropped that man on the back of his fucking noggin. Yeah, just great. Like, look, Tony Khan, Booker of the Year.
So,
oh man, it was great.
The Dark Order were backstage. They did like a little pre-tape, said they vote on shit. Anna Jay settled them beefing. Then Dante Martin was in the ring with Shivani. Said the last couple months he's been a problem for AEW. He issued a challenge to anybody in the locker room. Said he hung with Kenny Omega, and I want to smoke with somebody. And then them lights went out, and I was like. I started looking around. I was like, "Who could this be?" And then,
you didn't know who it was?
I didn't at first.
I figured it was gonna be Malachi, and sure enough, it happened. I was like, "Just take it off from my point a second ago." Tony Khan, Booker of the Year.
Like
this man responded like the fucking Undertaker.
Yeah.
Without any of the lore or teleporting and all that. He just appears, and then he kicks your fucking face off, and then it's on. Like, what's not to like about this guy at this point? What's not to like?
This is going to be great.
Oh yeah.
I seem to remember and I know we don't talk about this guy anymore, but I seem to remember Malachi Black wrestling a young wrestler that needed like a push to get like a match.
Yep.
To get him to the next level before, and this wrestler that he's about to face,
and he beat him, and he gave him a handshake, and then it was on from there. He could have been the champion in that brand.
Yep. But the wrestler he's about to face now is light years ahead of that wrestler.
Yeah, he is.
So,
yeah, he is.
Yeah, man. This is gonna be great. I thought Dante Martin's promo was good. He sounded comfortable on the mic, which is like almost a revelation because we
never heard him talk before. I don't think
never really heard him talk, and that's what's gonna set him apart because obviously the next Ricochet tag is on him. Like I think it's been getting around for him. His
jumping is beyond like just his leapers are beyond what Ricochet's leapers were.
Yeah,
like,
I think Ricochet has
shit.
I think Ricochet has more like he has better like
he's a better flyer. He's a better flyer. He's a better conventional flyer and being able to wrestle a match and all that kind of stuff. He's more experienced and all of that. But like
he just jumps higher. Like
the pure ability to jump out the gym, is literally like Dante Martin and Montez Ford in like peak Seth Rollins, and like that's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, so I expect this match to be awesome. Whatever the fuck they do. So like,
and dude, when he fucking knees him out the sky, it's gonna be incredible. He's going to knock him out the sky, and it's gonna be great.
Yep. So Ricky Starks was in the ring with the FTW title. He said this is the same title that was built in South Philly. He's a champion because he got the same mindset Taz had. Starks is going to challenge him to a Philly Street fight, but it wasn't going to happen. Immediately, I started thinking, oh no, is Cage pulling a Kyrie Irving? Like, is he banned from the arena? Like, oh no. And then Cage ran out, and I was like, whew. Like, and he attacked Starks, and then Hobbs and Hook pulled Starks out. After that, we got roster members.
That's set up the Rampage match, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We got Thunder Rosa, Sky Blue, who's like a new pickup, kind of. Ruby and Jade Cargill all talking about the TBS title, and boy, like whatever you want, you know. There's Thunder Rosa, there's Sky Blue for the youngsters. There's Ruby, you know, and then there's Jade. There's
what are you doing?
Lots of options. There's lots of options.
What are you doing right
here.
now? What are you doing?
There's lots of options for the championship. You know, whatever aesthetic you want to go with there. So,
I still can't believe they're rocking with Sky Blue as a name for her.
Yeah, because isn't that? Never mind.
That's the name of somebody that does different types of forms of entertainment.
Gotcha. Yeah, different work with the body. You know.
Yeah. Another person that's using that as a work name, and it's not their shoot name. If you catch my drift.
Correct.
Someone else is flying in for dates.
Yes. Someone that has to be booked. You know.
God damn it.
Someone that could be a young superstar. You know?
Oh man. Man.
So up next,
I'm not even gonna drink no water. You finna say I'm not even gonna go off and say something stupid. Even have you spit on my fucking laptop. So hold on. Go ahead. If you done, you done.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
So we got Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida before the match. They talked about if Shida wins, this would be her 50th victory, similar to the Jungle Boy thing when they gave him that trophy. So I was like, okay. So they gave it to him after he won his 50th or whatever, and it might have been just on YouTube or something.
Oh, okay. That's why. Okay. You know, I only watch the TNT shows.
So immediately I think, Sheeta's going to get the thing just like Jungle Boy did or whatever. Little did I know, so Serena Deeb was going to like systematically destroy her in this match and put her away and beat her. And I was like shocked because I was like, oh. And at first I wasn't like with it. I was like, oh man, like I didn't think that would happen. And then when I saw the execution, it was like, this is fucking great because now Sheeta has a reason to A, be on the
TV
show.
again.
B, gives her, like, obviously she's not going to be the champion right now, but it gives her a storyline to go after that 50th win and make it mean something. Also, what did that trophy really mean? They just introduced it to the audience right then and there. Why the fuck do we care about that trophy? Now we care about her getting that 50th win. You know, whether she is injured and she has to come back and face Serena Deeb, whether it's in the tournament, whether it's like Serena Deeb wins the title and they're like, yo, your first opponent is Sheeta. And then Serena Deeb is like, fuck, like I thought I got rid of her or whatever. However you want to do it, like it's all there.
Yeah, I
and
really
shout out to Floyd for calling this like early.
Well, he didn't call it. He just like he was rooting for it because like if Sheeta had won, he thought it would be boring. And I was like, it's fine. Like I don't care what they do. Like if Sheeta comes out and wins, like I'm happy to fucking see her. I didn't know she was still alive since she lost the AEW Women's World Title. So, like once they did it. Like Floyd ended up being right in the point of saying that like doing this, like I don't think he predicted a heel turn necessarily, but it livened it up. It gives Deeb and Sheeta a reason to be on TV again. Given that like a lot of the women aren't on TV on a consistent basis, so like yeah, like that's 2 thumbs up for me. Like. It gives the division depth in a way that like we've been asking for almost 2 years. So yeah, thumbs up for me. Big thumbs up.
Serena Deeb broke that thing over her head after.
Yes,
and that was it. So
yeah, we should. Was it exactly like the one that Jungle Boy won, or was it
looked just like it?
Okay, so what? I should have realized it was an angle the second I saw it and was like, that thing doesn't look expensive. So I should have realized like that dude like that person like that looks like a glass plaque that you end up getting awarded for like being like the regional like for like being the like you saw the most like tundras for like Toyotathon that month. Like that's what it looked like. So I should have recognized like okay like that's Yeah, like use that as gimmick, bash it over her head. Like start the feud, run it. So
yeah, that's your junior football participation trophy in like 6th grade. You know, you were on the team. Not necessarily like the MVP, not a standout. You played all the games.
I got one for you. This is personal experience. This is what you get like your junior year when like you make it to regionals in the state of Florida for discus. It's like one of them.
So
true story. True story. Sheet story.
So Leo Rush, we haven't talked about Leo yet, but shout out to Grapsity. I believe one of those guys said Leo Rush's gimmick is that he's a scammer. And I was screaming when he said it might have been Reg, it might have been Will, or it might have been Phil. But I'm feeling like Leo Rush is being dishonest, kind of with regards to money. So that usually leads to the scamming category.
So are you saying that he's a scammer off rip, or he will eventually be like exposed as a scammer?
Oh, he will be exposed as a scammer.
Okay. I'm gonna say because at first, like at the beginning of this, he looks like forward facing. He's getting people booked for matches that he otherwise shouldn't have if he didn't have some type of pull. So all right, so eventually it will be found that he's out here running a fraud. Okay, fine, fair enough. Yeah, I'm glad to see Leo Rush, man. I'm glad to see him back in AEW after he was the Joker. I believe that was Double or Nothing. Yeah, So whatever he wants to do, like, it's not too far of a stretch from what he was doing with Lashley. But like I just need to give him the ring because like I need to run some of these matches. I need some of these matches ran that I want ran. Like I want the Pac match. I want the Phoenix match. I want the Dante Martin match. I want the Darby match. I want the Kingston match. I want a bunch of matches out of him with people. Like I want him basically I want the Bryanson match.
So
I want all that.
So speaking of Dante Martin, he then addresses Dante Martin. He says he's a huge fan, but Leo's the man of the hour and LBO Leo. And he sees Dante as an undervalued commodity, and he wants to take him to new heights, and he offers his guidance to him ahead of Dante's match with Malachi Black. Interesting. So Britt Baker cuts a promo shitting on the TBS belt, saying basically she's above all that shit, so all y'all can stop talking about me over on the top. But I'll be watching.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code PHIL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL.
So up next, we got the Casino Ladder match to become the AEW World Title, or excuse me, the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. The participants for this match were Jon Moxley, Pac, Andrade El Idolo, Lance Archer, Orange Cassidy, Matt Hardy, and Hangman Page. James, do you have your sneakers on?
They're Vans, but I can make it work.
Okay. Are you ready to run the victory lap of all victory laps here on One Nation Radio?
Do you want to do it now, or do you want to wait until he's champion?
I mean, we could do either, but because I feel like
You feel like if we do it now, it'll let you know like how far ahead we are that we're even risking like being wrong on it to stick our neck out to be like that's how right we were. That's what you want to do. Like the defiance, the audacity.
Like I don't even know. Like
the brazenness.
it's two different things. It's like people thought he was not going to even get back to Kenny, let alone them switching the belt to Hangman, like, which we haven't arrived at that point yet, but I feel like obviously it is coming. So for these people to have been poisoned this badly by whatever the fuck they used to watch or currently still watch, I don't know how you could watch the Horseman style beatdown of Hangman Page on his way out of the promotion this summer after they do the big 3-on-1 handicap beatdown
at the end,
in the week before in the match, and they let Hangman Page damn near kick out of everything. Do you like when people are going off TV? They need to be beaten in almost the most spectacular fashion you can beat them, so you can use that, especially if you are a good booker. Which
I have more Moxley,
right? Which if you can use that if you're a good booker like Tony Khan is, to bring him back to face all those same people
and whoop their asses on the way there.
Look, One Nation Radio, we're a lot of things. We are smart. We are ahead. But this wasn't no...
This wasn't no incredible foresight.
This wasn't not
obvious.
Genius.
This is obvious.
This was something you guys could not have seen. I think people just fell in love, personally. Like, they're in love with Hangman. They've been abused. They've been watching everything else just not work out however they want. And I think people just wanted to believe this. I think a lot of these people are your FDS people. Like, they were like, hey man, needs to leave, he needs to, all the bad faith bullshit. I started like immediately going on Twitter and acting foolish. I cut up the clip last week of you and me at different times on August 2nd and 9th, calling exactly what was about to happen, saying that it's gonna be fine. Wondering why everyone doesn't see this. I think people are too far in it, personally, and that's not a bad thing. However, when you're coming out, I'm not talking to those people that are too far in it, and they're really big fans of Hangman Page that were really worried about some shit like that. I'm talking to your trolls, your bullshitters, and a little bit to the other people as well. It's like, if AEW hasn't shown you that, A, they're not like these promotions already, like, you have been paying attention, or you're like rooting for underhanded shit to happen, because look at it. Like, look at the history of the world title in this promotion. Like, the two guys that were the first two champions both got wins over the third champion to establish them. They established Hangman Page and Kenny Omega as a tag team on the third episode of Dynamite. You know how happy I'm going to be when Hangman Page beats Kenny for the belt, and I can come out here and add that to the Kenny Omega folder of dudes that he made. Like, you know how happy I'm going to be? This is not a Roman Reigns fan, still being angry at Braun Strowman for some reason. They should always take credit for that. Like, no, like, from the second they put the tag team together, Kenny and Hangman's doing all the finishes. They're having all these great matches. They're winning. They have this dissolution that is kind of weird. Hangman plays a part in it. Kenny is frustrated with him. Kenny immediately says, fuck this shit. I'm going back. I'm just going to hit the switch and take off and win the belt within like 2 months or whatever. And Page, he's got to take the long way there. He loses to Kenny along the way. He loses again. He's going through all this friendship drama. Like, this is looking eerily familiar to me. Having followed Kenny Omega's journey. Adam Page is Kenny Omega. Like, what the fuck are people not seeing, James?
I don't know, man. Just a lot of people just are not... I think a lot of people are really, like, exasperated by that beatdown. Felt deflated and felt like, well, with the big guns that are coming in, with Adam Cole coming in, with Bryan Danielson coming in, with CM Punk coming in, he's going to be shuffled off and told to go to hell. I said this to you sometime last week. a lot of places, most places would have said, all right, go get fucked. You know, because we got 3 acts that are all better acts than you coming in. So, I get it. But,
look, WWE going to WWE was not the answer. Like, I just hope everyone knows that.
Yeah. I don't even feel like we got to spend no time on that one. I didn't even hear about that one. That's crazy. But they're gonna treat Adam Page gonna be treated better in WWE than AEW. Are you out of your mind? What? Like,
this man has been the personal pet project of the promotion from the beginning.
The story of the Dynamite era so far is his journey. Right? So, speaking of somebody who's like, the last few years of a promotion is pretty much their story, I was inspired, and this is the reason why I had faith that this is all going to work out in the end, because I was watching another promotion that like had a long title chase that eventually paid off this year, and I was like, y'all are tripping, it's going to happen, and when it happens, I'll be so fucking happy. And the whole thing is, it comes down to, do you have faith in the story that they have told you that is going to play out or not? And if you don't, then like I suggest you find something to do besides watching this before they break your heart, or you got to see it through. And when you see it through and it happens, you're going to be so fucking happy. So, this is a part from my column that I wrote, last weekend. Or not last week, but got it up on Friday. Mm-hmm. 1 month later, Nakano got her chance. After Julia laid a vicious beatdown on Unagi, the white belt champion offered Nakano a proposal. Tam would get the white belt match at Budokan Hall, but only if Nakano had the nerve to wager her hair in a hair versus hair match. Tam, the idol wrestler, placed her vanity on the line for her crowning moment. After succumbing to Julia's sit-out tombstone power drivers at last October, Nakano took Julia's ruthlessness and upped the ante while adding her own flair in the form of a Steiner screwdriver. Devastated, Julia used the last of any fire she had to kick out, and it was already over. After 779 days, Tam Nakano became the World of Stardom white belt champion in the main event of the biggest show in Stardom's history. And Tam's promise to Arisa was fulfilled. This is why I had faith that this is all going to go around. I was just dealing with all of this shit earlier in the year after a multiple year chase. It was like, they're clearly laying this out. They're clearly going to get to them. It's going to get dark before it starts shining. The sun comes up. It's going to happen. And when it comes through, y'all going to be so happy. But y'all right now are just stuck in this thing and feeling miserable like they're not going to pay it off, and you're going to be fucked at the end because you've been fucked by other promotions. These Stardom, AEW have never led you believe that like whatever story they're telling over multiple years is not going to pay off in the way that you want it. It's never happened.
Ever.
So, like on a major scale at the top of the card, it's never happened. So, either you trust the booker to tell the stories that you're watching, you've enjoyed so far, or you want to be the booker.
Or you're out here doing something else.
Well, I'm talking about in good faith. I'm talking about people that are actually in good faith and frustrated or whatever else. It's like, look, man, I understand that everybody wants these things to happen in a certain way at a certain time, but like sometimes they work longer, and going the longer route ultimately a lot of times pays out better. Like, and I was talking to Imp about this with Naito, when Naito won, like that house that he drew with Kenta the next pay-per-view after Wrestle Kingdom, it was huge, but the world went to shit. So we don't know how it would have turned out, but it was also really good. It was off to a hot start. So, you know, people that were crying in 2018 we didn't win, when 2020 came around, they didn't have shit to say. They were still just as fucking happy, if not more, even more juice than before. The pandemic happened. It is what it is.
Yeah. So, Page gets a fucking monster reaction when he comes back.
They were booing Jon Moxley.
Correct. So, like,
do we have to say anything else? They were booing Jon Moxley because they wanted him to win that badly.
They loved this man's draws. And the match was fucking crazy. We didn't even get to that part.
A dead eye, like Pac. I don't know. Is he alive? Do we know if he's alive?
Who knows? I ain't seen him since.
Psycho.
Well, yeah, Heyman wins. Great match. Check it out. Lots of fun stuff like Archer and Moxley. Archer charging the fucking crowd when he could have won. That was pretty funny.
That was so dumb, but was awesome. Because like, you dumb bitch. You're the only person standing in a ladder match. And you hear Moxley as you run out of the ring and go fight him in the crowd. You dunce. You idiot. It was awesome though. It was stupid, but it was awesome.
The ladder match legend Matt Hardy, came off and did some wild shit and was convulsing like he shattered his entire lower body. It looked like
he sold that. He sold that very well, or maybe it wasn't. Who knows?
Yep.
Like my whole thing is like think of how bold Tony Khan is to allow Matt Hardy to fall off of a high to have a high fall again after what happened last time he had a high fall.
That's funny. Sam said he's had a lethal dose of poison, and Moxley should be Hangman's first pay-per-view challenger. It could happen. He could easily win that world title eliminator tournament. Obviously, they're going to have the finals at Full Gear. So they haven't announced Kenny and Hangman for Full Gear, but he is a number one contender, and you would think, looking at the calendar, that's where the match will be. And that's going to be one of the biggest matches, and I expect the title to change hands there, unless they start pulling some draw nonsense, but I don't think they're going to do that.
Again.
Yeah. This seems like it's going to be, here's the switch. So I'll have to start getting the Kenny Omega championship belt obituary ready or whatever. But it was a great fucking reign. Yep. Like so it's gonna be awesome. And like I think people have, when Heyman takes over, I think people will be able to properly assess what they saw in Kenny, but I think a lot of people may have missed out like on enjoying the ride itself, because it was so much of what's next, when is Heyman's time, because it was exhausting a lot of the time dealing with like, you don't know who's talking in good faith and bad faith with you about this stuff, but essentially marking Heyman for every time Kenny had a match, it was like it was just looming over him. It was a good thing that there was a logical endpoint, because not all champions have that. Like, you just think they're gonna die with that fucking thing. Like, check SmackDown. But like I thought it was. I think people are going to be able to assess this. If not, I'll fucking assess it and then put it out so people can realize what the fuck they saw here. So
anyone under the impression this wasn't a great title reign, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know what you want out of your professional wrestling in North America from a heel wrestler. I don't know. Like, granted, like, yes, early on he was doing so many like fuck finishes that I was like concerned, but he's overcame that over time.
Yeah. So next time, y'all listen to One Nation Radio. Listen to us in real time, believe us later on.
Don't do this. Don't act like we're always.
It happens.
Stop.
We are. And if we're not, we don't clip that part.
Okay, at least there we go. All right. Yeah, man. So where's next? Where are we going next?
Rampage was pretty good. I won't do a full review for that, but I like Punk and Garcia. I think this is the best Punk has looked. Personally,
I agree.
This match, a lot of his old stuff is coming in. His timing's getting better. Maybe you got to start looking at putting him in deeper waters at this point, like with like bigger name talent. Possible. Would you put him in the tournament?
I don't know. Maybe. But that's the thing. If you put Bryanson or if you put Punk in it, they have to win.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of come up with something to pull them away in a way.
I wish they could get aligned.
Win the thing if you want to, but
Yeah, you have Bryan win, or like if there's some way they could get aligned, like maybe you can do them two versus the Bucks or something. But no, I wouldn't do that, because then anything the Lucha Brothers do is overshadowed. Like at that point, so I don't know. Maybe I think there's got to be somebody lurking around the mid card that is there. Maybe Miro. if Miro's not in the tournament or something, like can get at it with Punk or something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure who I would have in the tournament yet. If it's like last time, you would think it's going to be like a 8-person tournament, possibly maybe a 16-person tournament. Not sure. So I'm sure they'll tell us. Jade, Squash, Sky Blue. Not really much to add there. One thing
I want to mention, the Garcia and CM Punk match. Did you? I don't know if you noticed this, but early on in the match, CM Punk hits like consecutive, like hits a body slam, and Garcia sells it, and then he hits another body slam, and he sells it. I'm just like, I know Garcia watches Stardom. He talks about Stardom a lot on Twitter. I'm just like, that is some Stardom ass shit. Like, you sell a body slam like it's bloody murder, and then like I was halfway expecting to see him punch a slap on a single leg crab, and have him try to fight to the ropes, but it didn't happen. But it's like, and then I saw him the other day. He was working on the Azumi Sushi, that Azumi flash pin, and I was like, okay. Like, you know how raw for us you be if you like, I'm going, you know, people talk about Buddy Murphy or Seth Rollins and like the New Japan skit or moveset, the Stardom moveset. If you do the Stardom moveset, you could come out here and be like a top 20 wrestler in the world. You really could. Like, between all the shit that like Azumi and Tam and like Mayu come up with, like, you really could. You really could come out here and scam yourself and be like, yeah, he's such a fucking innovator. Like, look at all these fucking flash cradle pins and the shit I've never seen before. And like, I'm telling you, you really could. You'd be like, nah, man, he was just stealing from like the top Joshi promotion in the world.
That's it. You know,
yeah. Like the same person's out here, like, yeah, look, like the person steals like Manami Toyota shit. Same thing.
Yeah, I saw the Alley Cat do Manami Toyota's finisher in a GIF.
Are you serious?
Yes, and I was horrified.
That's hilarious.
I was like, you know, Manami Toyota's furious.
Oh yeah,
seeing this.
Yeah. She's like, I gave that shit to Tsukasa Fujimoto, and I gave that shit to Sakushi. Nobody else should be doing that shit. Like, remember when she was mad at B Priestley for doing it?
Yeah. Well, B Priestley or Alley Cat is not the fucking B Priestley.
Oh, hell no.
Lucha Bros and the Acclaimed have a real good 5-minute match.
Only 5 minutes?
Only went 5 minutes. 5:16.
Wow.
Lots of just like Ray Phoenix just like getting me out my chair, exciting me in this match. Just like his change of direction is awesome. I thought the Acclaim, like their entrance was great. They're still over. And you know, it was a nice early reign win for the Lucha Bros. Besides that, the street fight, Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. This was okay. Actually, it was pretty.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. I think Cage is DOA kind of. At this point, Starks. It feels like Starks has beat him like a bunch of times. Like if he doesn't pin him, which he's done twice,
he's beat him.
Yeah, out-talks him
because the numbers. He's beating him number game every time. Like, yeah, that's fine. That's how heels win. But like, I really enjoyed the match. I liked when Starks hit the leg drop, the running leg drop with the trash can top. I thought it was fun. The blade job after like the way they trapped the steel chair into the corner, and like Starks ran into it, and it didn't like, you know, it was solid, and then he comes up blading. Like, I thought it was a really nice touch. I don't know if that was on purpose to make sure it didn't move, like it stayed there, like he ran into a brick wall almost. He came up blading. I thought it was good. I liked them running out for the save late, and then Cage thwarting it. I really liked the match. Told a good story. The right person won. They protected Cage for whenever Cage, like, hell, put Cage in the Eliminator. Why not?
Yeah, he could be in it. But yeah, as AEW this week, I think Rampage was awesome. Dynamite was like fucking like they're like, what more do you want? Lots of great matches, big returns, and it's amazing. You know, they forgot about Hangman Page. What about the young guys? What about I don't know, man. Like find a new grift. I don't know.
But yeah, I guess there's only one thing left to do, James, and that is to hit the music.
Okay, man, so Stardom had their Osaka-Jo Hall show on Friday nights last Saturday morning, and it was another great show. Like, if you want a 3-hour show where you're going to get like 8 matches and like you're gonna get like 5 matches, gonna be like 3.5, and you're gonna get like 2 to 3 matches are going to be like in the 4.5 range. That's what Stardom has done pretty much ever since the Grand Prix pay-per-views. Like, they just keep having great pay-per-views over and over and over. I think this is the 8th. Ever since they did the Booking Hall pay-per-view, I've paid for all of them that they've done. I think we're at 8 now since then. I have never regretted for a single second breaking that bread for any of them, which is saying something. Yeah, it was another great pay-per-view. What were your general thoughts before we go through the card?
That was pretty entertaining. I thought for each level kind of that, the matches were on, they obviously fit. Super main event with Tommy and Takumi. I love watching Takumi Roha wrestle. She's a special wrestler. Yep. Let's just say that. Yep. I thought the mid-card stuff was cool, like Hazuki and Koguma, and I really liked the Artists of Stardom title match with Donald Del Mondo and Queen's Quest. It just felt like rival gangs facing off, like it was the fucking Warriors or something. Got to see Death in a title match, which is always nice. Also, there was some good prelim stuff on here too.
Okay, so the prelim. Let's go through it now. The opener was the future belt match. It is Unagi versus Roaka, and the match is okay. Like, you don't have big expectations in the match between Unagi and Roaka. They had Roaka like hit her with like jump her at the bell, throw her out the ring, run her into the post, grab Waka, and then whip her into Unagi. Have Roaka boot Unagi like halfway hanging over the bottom rope, halfway hanging off the apron, and then had her, Roaka on the apron, hit her with a freaking senton that just gross. And then Unagi fought back, and then Oedo Tai ran in and cheated with the help of the Gunnery, and then Roaka ended up hitting her fisherman suplex, and then hit the refrigerator bomb off the top rope for the win. And Unagi's on to bigger and better things.
Roaka did a few Bray Wyatt like moves, like that quick cutoff splash in midair. She does like that little senton that he does, and
she does do the senton running off the ropes. Yeah,
Unagi had a couple cool spots, but this wasn't like her night, as you mentioned. She's on the bigger, better things, and this is supposed to be the Futures belt,
right?
So Roaka doesn't really.
She's 17. She just turned 17, and then Unagi is 31, but she's in year 2 of wrestling.
Yeah,
so it was like Roaka, that was clearly artificial. Like, they were just putting a belt on her just to put a belt on her.
And was that Lady C that came out there and challenged her next?
Yes, Lady C. Yeah, she cut her. She had a haircut like during the Tam Unagi match, I believe. Tam did a dive, and she was catching on the outside, and she ended up catching like a boot or a knee, and ended up getting like split above the eye. So like she had to patch for like the last couple weeks, like Slit Rick. So like she cut her hair like in bangs to change her hairstyle. So that's probably why you didn't recognize her. But yeah, that was Lady C. So she's gonna get her a future title shot like literally 6 weeks after she got her first win. So that's fun. Like she's really improving. Like I think she's going to be good in 2 years.
So Sam says he's been grifted about the music for years. The magic is all in post. Yes, it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I figured he knew that. Yeah. So. Yeah, like
tag match.
Ruaka, I think ultimately like it's going to be Ruaka ends up getting transferring the belt over to Hannon. Once Hannon comes back, because Hannon is going to be in tag league with Mayu. So because Kaguma is going to be tagging with Hazuki, obviously. So next match after that, you end up having Cosmic Angels, Mina and Mai versus the Marvelous Gang, Maria and Rin Katakura. And what do you think of the dancing? Do we need to talk about the amount of dancing that's picked up in Stardom of the last like week or so?
This one wasn't as funny as like the one later, I thought.
Yes, but, agreed, definitely.
It was there.
It was enjoyable.
I see Marvelous got their win for the car since like this is purely like
just like Sealing got theirs at Budokan Hall. Like we going 50-50. Yeah, like
I don't really got much for you on this one. This was just okay.
Yeah. At the press conference, Mina was such a dick. She was an asshole. Like she was like, she drew up those pictures like she did of like all the other wrestlers in the Grand Prix of Maria and Rin, and was like, here's your pictures. And then she's like, Rin, the only time you ever talk is when you talk about Mayu Iwatani. You don't even go here. You're in Marvelous. But how about this? After we beat you, how about because you're in flux with your roster at Marvelous? How about like I come over there and help you all out? She was like, she's the asshole. She's been an asshole to the press conference. And then like Rin came out there and whooped their ass. And then Rin, put the Marvelous sign in her face, and they slapped each other back. So I think they're gonna have a match eventually because there's a lot of shows coming. Like they're doing like 4 pay-per-views before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think they're gonna have that match on one of these, and like there should be a good match. Like I think Mina's like flat out good now at this point, like flat out good. Like she's really good in tags, not like she's really good in short matches. I think like you can put her out there for like 12 minutes or less, and she'll be good. So her versus Rin, why not? Rin will kick your head off with super kicks to death. So yeah, like. And Maria, Team Marvelous end up getting the win. They end up beating the shot of Mai. They get the win and protect the Mina and Rin match for the future. So I believe the next match after that is your time, Rich. The high speed title match: Starlight Kid versus Fukigen Death. Man,
yeah, let's go. So Death came out. She hit the camera with a newspaper. She gave me the energy of Pac spitting in the camera with that. And
what?
Just when Death comes around, rules about to be broken. We're not doing things the traditional way. God. There was a good opening sequence in here. Death put on a nice short heat segment, a lot of roll pin attempts, really cool senton off the top rope. That looked devastating, especially, and this was Odayo Tai versus Odayo Tai, and they decided to actually go for it because the belt was on the line. It was more than points at stake. Kid uses this tombstone-looking drop, but like more like a body slam, to beat Death. They show a little bit of evil person respect after the match to each other, and I think this was just a match to add to Starlight Kid's aura. And I don't know, can we just call her the leader of the faction now? It should be, yeah. Like, keep in mind, like we talked about this a year ago. So we're in October now, right? So like when Konami turned on Jungle last year, we were like, yeah, make Konami the leader of Oedo Tai. Fuck this Natsuko Tora stuff, right? We were saying this then, or I was saying this at least. It never happened. Like they didn't transfer over to her, even though she was clearly the best worker in that faction at the time, and she was the only one that was being protected at the time. So they bring in Starlight Kid, and she tore ACL unfortunately in her, back in June. No, not June, but 4th of July pay-per-view. And like, gotta say, Oedo Tai is a lot more easy, digestible and more fun to watch without Tora around.
Like, get well soon and all that, but like, when she comes back, she needs to like readjust whatever, or reassess like what the fuck she was doing for a year and a half, because like Starlight Kid and Konami, and Fukigen and Roaka, they're all better workers than her. Like, for her to be at the top of that shit and have them shitty matches, like, no, get that shit out of here. So, one thing I want to say, like, there was some really cool stuff in this match that you didn't mention. Like, you missed out on the part where like Kid like runs in and tries to come off the rope try to hit it with like a step up Hurricane Rana, and like Def just power bombs her. There's also a spot where Kid gets on top of her and hits the code red, and then like Def reverses it and gets the Rana cradle. Kid kicks out because that was like the last of her fire to get that reversal. Like, Def is dead to rights, and then like Kid gets up and just hits the double running knees to the back of her head, and like the meteor to the back of her head. It was like, they're fucking good. Like, I forgot how long this probably went, like less than
5:47.
Yeah, 3.5 stars. It's a fun ass match. So next match after that, the Queen's Quest versus Dom Mondo trios title match. So Azumi, an entrance. Azumi shoots out the stage like Rey Mysterio Jr. and Kota Ibushi, and I pop like crazy for it.
Who's that jumping out the sky? AZM UM. What the fuck? How you spell her name? AZUMI. Okay. Yeah, so who's that jumping out the sky?
So I had noticed earlier in the show there was a trap door, so I was like, I wonder who's going to use a trap door. So the Starlight Kid, on her entrance, she used the trap door. She used it when she walks out. She has her old shit. We got to go back. We got to talk about this. Her entrance, she comes out. She has her old like garb from when she was a babyface in Stars. She has her old mask and colorful stuff. She goes down the trap door.
To hell.
Yeah. Comes back up, and then she comes back up and she has like the Jushin Thunder Liger Starlight Kid over mask, and then she has the cape looking like Darth Vader and shit, and she comes out the ring and like she broke that mask out for like her first when she won the high speed title. It's like, this is her thing now. It's like the high speed title, it connotes the junior heavyweights in New Japan, and it's like, she met with Liger and all that kind of stuff. Like, clearly there was, some talk about this. Like, I think it's fucking cool when she comes out for these high speed titles with Liger shit on. It's a nice touch. And like, lately, all this stuff Starlight Kid has been doing has just been like knocked out the park. Like, and when she goes down, the trap door, you see the video or the Titantron in the background playing like her basically like, shoving Mayu away after Mayu went through that fucking gauntlet match to try to win her back, and she's like, nah, I'm staying heel. Like, from a presentation standpoint, like, she might be the best wrestler in Stardom as far as presentation of what she's doing right now. Like, her turn to heel might be like one of the best creative decisions of the year in all professional wrestling. Like, this went way better than I ever thought it would. And I thought she could do it because she was aggressive, but like, it's worked out like game busters. So getting back to the trios match. Sorry?
Yeah. I was going to say, I had some notes for the match, but go ahead.
Yeah. Getting back to the trios match, like, the trapdoor Azumi shoots out the trapdoor. They got a new Queen's Quest flag. Azumi's, she's in her, the gold version of her, alt version of her gear. Looks incredible. Looks like, just awesome. So then, Donna Mondo comes down, and they all have, like, their, this is a staple of the trios belts, like, because the belts all have 3 colors of the light blue, the pink, and the orange. Like, there have been a lot of teams that have like dressed their gear up to match the belts of the colors of individual belts, and like that's what Micah did. She's in orange, Natsupoi's in the light blue, Himeka's in the pink, and they come down and they got like flags in the color of the belts, and they're swinging them around and they're dancing, and there's new music. And like, they're all happy, and they get in the ring, they start doing their dance. I'm like, pop style. Yes, sir. These boys went commercial, or these girls went commercial. Love it.
So QQ, they came out, they were like a serious gang.
Yes.
Looked like they haven't laughed in weeks. Donald Mondo, the good guys in all white, smiling and dancing.
Yes. What's not to like?
I think Queen's Quest, they're an awesome triple team move doing team.
Yes.
kind of, their own version of like anything you see with the Shield or the Elite or something like that. I think Momo, she kicks people like their bodies aren't even there. Like she's going to kick, right? But your body's in the way. It's going to hit you, but like her foot's not going to lose speed or anything. I have that in conjunction to say about something else later. I like the Zumi and Natsupoi sequence. Wonderful counters.
They saved that for later too.
Exhibition style submissions, a million cradles. I thought Kamitani was awesome. She has all the moves. Once her peak like change of direction ability kicks in, she's going to be a problem in a good way. Yeah, like this was awesome. Like this, like I saw the graphic. I was like, yeah, there's not like a single tag I don't want to see in this match.
And they also told a story throughout it. Like, so match starts out and they were going to start with Micah versus Kamitani, who, they're career rivals. And then, Momo gets in, but like Momo and Micah had a thing from before the early beginning of the summer, before the Grand Prix, where like Micah was trying to convince Momo to come to Donna Del Mondo. It never happened. So like they started wrestling. Then you end up getting Momo and Himeka in at a certain point, given that that awesome match they had during the Grand Prix, where they're basically like it's kicks versus like clubs, and like they display that from parts of their match, and then you get Natsupoi and Ozumi in, and that's basically like a replay of their Budokan Hall opener. And like then they tied all back together by getting it eventually back to Micah versus Kamitani, and like Kamitani, like when they were in the Future Division in the end of the last half of 2020, like Micah was on top, and then this year because of the final of the Cinderella tournament in the their Grand Prix match, like they're now caught up. It's 2-2 more or less against each other, and like Micah, like she was dead to rights, and and Kamitani's about to hit with the Phoenix Splash, and that's what gets involved, and then like they start fighting again, and like Mecca like hits her with a lariat that sends her flipping, and then hits her with a freaking and goes to get her up for Michinoku driver. Kamitani escapes. It's a Flash Rana. Micah kicks out. Like Mike gets back in control and hits her with a Michinoku driver, and then was like, nope, not even want to go for a near fall. I'm following up with another one and drop you on her head again and gets a pin. It's like, and then Micah, like, just like that, is like, I am back in control of this rivalry. I thought it was a nice touch. I really did. I gave it 4 flat stars. I really enjoyed this match.
Same.
Yeah.
Hazuki versus Kaguma was next. They had a great video package putting all this together. You don't even need to speak the language. It pretty much shows all different points of their careers. They came up together young. They showed her stepping away. Her meaning Hazuki, showed her coming back. Showed Kaguma in her early stages. And clearly these two people have some type of shared history.
Yeah. So I'm here to give you the gist of it. So when they both so Hazuki just turned 24 in the last like couple months, right?
Ancient.
Right. Come back for second retirement at 24. So, they lived together when they started out. Like they were living together. Like they were in the same room dorming together. So like when they started in Stardom. So, the story is that in their 3 career matches against each other, singles matches, Kaguma's 3-0. So, then they showed the video pack, and then they showed during the part where like Hazuki during her retirement from the 2019 year-end climax, like you see Kaguma. This is the first time I ever saw Kaguma, right? When she walks out and everybody's changing gifts and everything and wishing her well, everything. You see Kaguma and like she's just like beside herself, tears, like hurt that like Hazuki's retiring at 22. So. Like, that's when I ever saw her. And then, like, I ended up watching a match from a couple matches, whatever else after that. So I always knew who that was. So then, like, Kaguma comes back, like, back in the spring. And then next thing you know, Hazuki shows up in, like, late August. And, like, they're having a match or whatever else. And it's just like, maybe Kaguma coming back helped facilitate Hazuki coming back. And if so, I'm forever grateful because, like, Hazuki came out. And Hazuki has new music, but she comes out and she has like literally the gear that she retired in, the white, like her championship white and pink gear that she used to always wear in championship matches. She has a kimono on, the old Edo-Tai kimono, and like on the back of it has her name, but it also has like the Kagetsu half moon thing, crescent moon, and I was like, that's a nice touch. And it's like, and the music is hard. Like Hazuki she's walking out like this is like the biggest arena she's ever worked in, and like you can see her looking around like it's like, God damn, this building's big as fuck. And like I was just so happy that she was back. And then Kaguma comes out and they wrestle, and it's like, and their match remind me so much of like the 2019 Stardom matches as far as like building out a match, and then like, and just the way it was set up, like it felt like in a way like matches don't really happen in Stardom in this way. Like it used to be like a Stardom house style match that this was, and like Hazuki added like Kagetsu touches, like the tope out to the floor, the break up, someone gets you up, you basically throw their hands off you hit the double punches and the soul button, and you go with a kick. Like, so she's taking a lot of stuff. She's taking some of the stuff from Kagetsu that's going to add to her repertoire. She already had a huge bag of stuff, but like 2 years off, having like a damn near, a high 3-star match with Kaguma, who like all she has is like cutters right now and high speed stuff. And this was not a high speed match. It was like a paced out normal like match. And it's like, that's the reason why I liked Hazuki so much at the beginning, like in 2019 when I started watching. It's like, she has paces. She knows what she needs for the time and what's given. Like, she can have a high speed match at super fast pace. She can have the big building match at regular pace, tempo, or whatever else. And like, I'm glad she's back. And like, she missed a couple strikes, like, but for the most part, as far as the grappling and the wrestling, she's still super on point. And we'll see where she is in 6 months. Like, she might end up being like one of the 5 best workers in this promotion again, like within like next few months once she knocks off this rust.
I thought she looked good.
Same here.
I want to eventually see her versus Starlight Kid again.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember what that was like before.
Yeah.
And Starlight Kid now
is way better now.
Is way better. So that's going to be incredible if that happens. But this was a nice story. This was a perfect mid-card match, like right to transition you from almost everything you saw before this to everything you would see after. And it looks like, there's a lot of emotions on display, especially after the match. I believe I heard something like they may be teaming together or something now.
Hazuki thanked her and then asked her to be her tag partner in Tag League. And then Kaguma, just a great dork, was just so overcome by emotion and tears of happiness. Is like, I think the translation I saw was like, I know I should be upset that I lost, but like, I'm just so happy that like, we could do this and you're back, and like, pro wrestling's awesome. And like, and you can see the way, if you see this clip or the way her voice is trembling, the way she breaks down multiple times, you're just like, this woman is beside herself again. Like, she just overwhelmed by the emotion of the moment. And it was fun. And once they, like, the commentary team laid out, and there was no English commentary, it was only Japanese commentary. So like, they laid out, and Chigusa Nagayo is doing commentary. And when they cut back to when they had to cut back in after that moment, after they hugged again, after saying they're going to be in tag league together, you could hear two or three people on the announce team like crying. Chigusa Nagayo was literally in tears, and like she's trying to get the camera off her because they're putting the camera on her. Got her crying, like, get that shit off me. And like, they caught her slipping. They actually caught her slipping during the tag match they had Marvelous, like when she was in the dark, because she was crying when she was out there. She's like, this is the biggest venue like my girls are going to ever be in. And she got emotional then, and like they caught her again, and she was like, get this fucking camera off me. But it was fun. It was like the best. It was the best, emotional moment of the night. It was really fun. It was really cool. Like, I'm glad Azuki's back. I really am, man. Like, I'm just glad she's back. I'm just super happy. So next match after that,
Shuri versus Saki.
Yes, Shuri versus Saki. So
got some notes on this as well.
During the dark match, Saki was in a tag match with Rina, and they won. And then like Shuri was doing commentary. So Saki called out Shuri because obviously Konami match got canceled like the day before or the day of because Konami has, or it's postponed because Konami has enteritis. So, acute enteritis. So, they're delaying that. Hopefully she gets well soon. And they did Saki versus Shuri, and Shuri carried Saki for as long as she could. Or I don't want to say it that like that because Saki's not bad. Like, but it clearly was one of those things where it's like, I'm wrestling a wrestler that no one really buys, like actually like sticking with me. So I have to make it work because I'm Shuri. She did a good job. Like, Saki's.
I kind of wrote about that a little bit. Like, okay, go ahead. So this was a nice shock for me because like I guess either like the jet lag was hitting me at this point from flying over the weekend, but like I was getting a little tired at this point during the show, and then I heard Shuri's music sprang me right back into action. So I want to ask about Saki. Is Saki the value over replacement wrestler in Stardom?
So are you saying if someone's worse than her, they stink?
Yes.
Given the effort level, I would probably say yes. But the thing is, like, if Saki wants to have a good match, she can have a good match whenever she wants to. The problem is, like, given her card placement and being, next to Tora Nunasco is like, don't care. But yeah, she's good when she wants. She absolutely is good whenever she wants to be.
Saki had a look at the beginning of this match like, I know nothing I'm about to try is going to work. So fuck it. I'm about to just whatever. Like it's like an undermatched basketball team or some shit.
Man.
So Saki, she does the Tupac Shakur lay down and try to attack offense, and she laid down. All she had to do was do the kick. But Shuri, in comparison to Momo's kicks, Shuri doesn't kick you where she doesn't kick through you. She kicks right where she wants to, as hard as she can.
Yeah, Shuri kicks you with no abandon. Like, she might be the hardest kicker in all of pro wrestling.
She beat Saki's ass pretty much, and then Saki did like a quick comeback mimicking some of Shuri's offense, which included like a slap in a ground and pound position, just repeated slaps left and right hands. Shuri lit up Saki's entire left side with kicks before she did the Brock lock, essentially, and then I wrote down, Shuri's officially the new owner of the figure four leg lock because it looks absolutely brutal. And then she did the classic, after I beat her ass, I'll shake her hand.
Yeah. It was add another finish. Like, imagine Shuri needed another submission finish. Like, she has like 4 of them. But Saki, she threw some kicks. Shuri caught one, hit a dragon screw leg whip, and then slapped on the figure four and made her tap out. I don't know how long that match went, probably less than 10 minutes, but it was fun while it lasted. Like, this was better. I mean, this was just like, this could have been a undercard Grand Prix match. But I can't wait for the UWF rules Konami Shuri match. That shit's gonna go off. Like, I saw Shuri in a GLEAT match against Big U, and man, like, because it's basically a point system. Like, so, like, if you get a submission, you make the ropes, that's 1 point down. Like, you start with a certain number of points and you go down, right? If you get like a knockdown, that's 1, and you get back up, that's 1 point. But like, you can sell knockdowns like knockouts, and whether someone can beat the 10 count, almost like last man standing match up, actually a real count.
I think they got that in Fire Pro,
dude. Like, I watched this match with you, and keep in mind, Yu's just a judoka, right? She's not a striker really. So, imagine that shit with Konami. Like, that shit's gonna be great. Like, obviously it's gonna be more than 5 points, but like, because they'll probably do 15 points, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great whenever they get to it. So next match after that, the white belt match, Tam Nakano versus Mayu Iwatani. Dude, this match went to a draw. This match's 30 minutes is better than the Shuri and Utami's first 30 minutes. And it is one of the very best matches in Stardom history. No one is going to remember it in that way because it went to a draw in a time where they're doing too many draws. And I understand that You don't want to build towards the biggest match you can put on for your domestic fan base on effectively 2 weeks notice. So I get why they did it. However, if that match with that brutality has a fucking finish, we're in discussion for a 5-star match. Like, it is one of the very best matches start. Like, it's one of Mayu's best matches. Is bell to bell is one of the best matches of the year. It's incredible, and the selling is awesome, and the story they're telling is awesome, and like the run to the end is awesome, and it's just, it was a gut punch by the end, bro. It was a gut punch, like, damn it.
I wasn't feeling it on that level. Like,
this match is fucking awesome.
But like, I think the draw stuff like is gotta get reined in a little bit, especially like where every big show, it seems like there's like going to be some type of draw, and it's like damn near is going to be like, hey, if there's a big first time match somewhere, it's probably going to be a draw. That's what it feels like at this point. Or like a first chapter of the story thing, it's going to be a draw. I don't think it's a deal breaker. I think it's still a very good match, there. But I think, it's something to start. I hate. It's a crutch that I think is an off-speed pitch you should use that should never be actually in the rotation. And I think they've leaned on it too much. But
I get why in this particular situation they're doing it. Like, what else could they possibly put on for Mayu or Tam bigger than the Sumo Hall match and them doing a rematch of this after they have a fucking awesome match like this? I get it. I just
like,
you didn't have to go to that. You could have because we're going to get to the people that Tam had to leak losses to eventually settle rematches for all these pay-per-views they're about to do to end out the year. Like, you could have figured out somebody else. You could have to make this work. I understand, like, this is the quote-unquote build after what happened with them where like, Mina gets hurt, so they couldn't do any Cosmic Angel versus Star stuff for the first 2 months of the year. I understand that. But that ending was just like, I can't believe that they went to a draw. Like,
this was the meme.
This deflated me worse than the double deal with Utami and Shuri. This hurt me. This like bothered me more. Like, I was more like, I can't believe they went to a draw. Like, because
all caps I texted you. God damn it,
dude.
You watched this live.
Oh my god, dude. I was on the edge of my fucking seat for like for the entire match. Like, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm sorry, Rich.
This man wrote 1,600 words.
Yes.
For Rossi to be like, you see these two little fingers, James?
I even think about
this one is for you.
I even think about that.
This one is for anyone that thought we were gonna get a clean finish. These two right here,
Look, I'm gonna have to do it. So, Rich, you got to lay out. Like, jump in when you want to jump in. The match starts with a 70-second stare down, and the crowd was absolutely here for it. Like, to begin with some mat wrestling, Mayu tries it for a heel hook. Tam quickly counters into her own leg submission. Mayu gets the ropes, and they cleanly break. Tam shoots for a double leg. Mayu sprawls and quickly gets the Tam's back for a sleeper with the hooks in. Tam makes the ropes. Mayu lightly PKs Tam in the ribs, or sending Tam scurrying out to the floor. Tam gets back and reverses out of danger. And reverses out of danger and lands a head kick and then a high angle German for 2. Mayu sells neck damage. Tam stomps on the back of her neck and then slaps on the guillotine with the hooks in. Mayu makes the ropes and Tam spikes Mayu with a DDT and then a swinging net breaker that sends Mayu scurrying out the ring. Tam brings Mayu back to the floor, or back into the ring and then to slap on the neck crank, and she eventually just starts repeatedly bouncing Mayu's head into the mat and then pulls Mayu over the top rope to the out to the floor with a seated dragon sleeper on the top rope. Tam goes for a diving crossbody off the top rope to the floor, but Mayu counters with an anti-air super kick to Tam's bad ribs. Mayu gets back into the ring just to drop kick Tam right back out to the floor, and it goes for a tope, but Tam gets to the apron and punts Mayu's head while she's in the ropes, and then gets Mayu and grabs and hits a spike twist and shout on the apron with the bad neck. They trade forearms out on the floor until the ref Daichi tries to break them up twice. Each time, Tam and Mayu shove his ass to the concrete to get back to trading until Daichi eventually just shoves them back into the ring. They continue trading big forearms until Mayu hits a super kick and Tam fires back with a black mass. After they fight, and escape some suplexes, Tam hits 4 consecutive rolling high angle German suplexes. Tam goes for the kill with a tiger suplex, but Mayu escapes and hits a flash dragon suplex to stave off elimination. Mayu goes for a buzzsaw kick, but Tam trap blocks it and then clubs the knee, and then hits some basement roundhouse kick from the floor, and then kicks Mayu in the, it ends up kicking Mayu in the mouth, and Mayu sells it as like she's got her teeth knocked out. They trade unprotected basement roundhouse kicks from their backs until they get to their knees to start trading clunking headbutts, and then they end up to their feet and they trade slaps to the face. Tam exhausts herself after a flurry of slaps, and then Mayu PKs her in the head for a 2 count. Mayu goes for a moonsault. Tam gets out the way and hits her with a bicycle knee that sends Mayu rolling out the floor. Tam goes and hits the crossbody off the top rope to the floor. Tam goes for the Twilight Dream. Mayu fights to the ropes. Tam comes off the opposite side and V triggers, and then hits another bicycle knee, and then finally goes for a tiger suplex for a near fall. Tam then goes for the big face Joker, the Steiner screwdriver. Mayu escapes and hits a crucifix bomb for 2, and then follows up with a reverse Rana for a near count. Mayu goes for a second moonsault attempt. Tam moves and goes for a bicycle knee, but Mayu moves out the way and they both collapse, and then you get the 25-minute call. They get to their feet and they're trading head kicks before they both spill out the opposite sides of the ring. They both beat the 19 count. They trade forearms. Mayu lands a sling blade, goes for a frog splash for a 2 count. Then Mayu hits a head kick and a dragon suplex for a near fall. Then finally hits her moonsault for another near fall. Mayu goes for a second stage, a 2-stage dragon suplex. Tam wiggles out, hits her flash cartwheel roll up. Mayu reverses it and then grabs both legs because they're so close to the ropes that Tam can easily get it. And Tam kicks at 2.8. They both double slap each other and collapse with like 20 seconds left. Tam gets Mayu up and tries twice before hitting the Steiner screwdriver. Mayu kicks at 2.95. Tam wraps up Mayu in the Twilight Dream and the bell rings before she could drop her. I fucking love this match. But goddamn it, give me a finish. I'm begging you, give me a finish.
How do you want to see him get beat, James?
Oh, you stupid. Yeah, man, just beat somebody. Just beat somebody. Like, by that point in time, if you just give me somebody getting beat, whether it's the second moonsault, after they've been building towards the moonsault and like Tam has avoided it twice, you do that, that's one right there. If you get Tam, finishes in time to hit her with the Steiner screwdriver and then the Twilight Dream with like seconds to spare, that's a perfect finish too. Either one with like under 45 seconds left would have been like perfect. Here's your 4 3/4 plus or whatever people want to bait. Like, this match was fucking awesome and brutal. And like when they started throwing the roundhouse kicks from their backs, trying to get up to their knees, and then they start headbutting each other with clunking headbutts from their knees, and they get to the feet and they're trading big slaps. I was like, God damn, this match is brutal. Like, they sold it like it was brutal from the start to finish. They sold the injuries they gave each other with the ribs. Like Mayu hits that moonsault on them ribs. It looked like she was fucking done. Tam was fucking done. Like Tam was going over all those suplexes, and obviously the Steiner screwdriver was the play on after working neck. Like the brutality, the selling. Like, it was an awesomely built match, and it wasn't like a sprint out of just trying to do a million near falls for sake of it. Like, I thought this match was a masterclass, and like, just give me a fucking finish, please. Please, man. Fuck. This match was fucking awesome.
Oh, man.
The crazy part is, there's probably a better match on this card.
Yeah, I like the main event more. Utami versus Takumi Iroha. Now, some of the drama is taking out of it, I think, naturally with Takumi sometimes in the title matches because she's not ever going to win the belt. But she does her damnedest.
I think there's a possibility she could be a transitional champion to avoid like having someone lose, so they can do a rematch between two. Like,
I agree.
Like they could have Utami. Like they could like if they. Like, I would not have been shocked if Takumi had won, then faces Shuri, and then you get Shuri versus Utami like at whatever the first big show they do of next year. That wouldn't shock me, but we all kind of figured that it wasn't going to happen though.
Yeah, this was incredible. I thought like, so the draw they did, the other draw, led into this match here, and it was like there's tons of big moves, emptying the gun at the end of the match.
Utami getting desperate and working over Takumi's like recently surgically repaired knee. That was also a huge part of the story. Like, we've never seen Utami get desperate in that way.
Utami came out with the new music, and that shit was like some ultimate final boss like shit. Like, I thought I saw you make a comment like it sounded like some Ilya Dragunov would come out too.
It absolutely does. I was like, what? She Russian now? She Utami Volkov?
Yeah, like that shit sounded like.
It's not that it sounds bad. It's like
it sounds so epic and like the end of the movie, like bad guys about to come out, like all that. But this match ruled. They were, it was like running 3 versus the move Utami does. I don't know the name of it, but it's like her spinning power bomb
Black Tiger
type
bomb.
deal. Okay, yeah. And it was like, who was going to hit it first? And they just kept reversing out each other's version of it. Great splash mountain. Takumi, like a surgeon with the feet, essentially, as normal. And this was just like a really great main event to add on to Utami's title reign. Like, this shit is like great.
Yeah, and there are people that think that like Utami and Tam are boring.
What?
Yeah. I see it like, dude, do me a favor. When you get a chance, go to Cage Match and look at Utami's Cage Match rating. You'll be like, what?
Hold on. 8.35. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. In a vacuum, that's not a horrible rating, right? However, I think, and this is something...
Given the year that she's had...
Yeah, I think this is something I think you can apply to not only sports, but wrestling too, is like narratives last a lot longer than what you're actually seeing. Like, people have trouble identifying change in real time. They have to look back and realize, oh shit, things are not the way they were or whatever.
That's true.
And I think maybe a year from now, people will start to pick up. And this is a good example. Like, Tai Chi's this way also, right? Like, next year, I think people will pick up on the fact like of what
Tai
a lot of
Chi
people have known for years. Yeah, like what people have known for a while now about him. Like, it takes a long time to change a narrative about you, regardless of some of the work that people are doing in real time. And I think what we're good at on this show is calling, hey, the change is happening. Look,
Britt Baker, Tam Nakano, B. Priestley, Mina. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other people that were like, this person is way better. I mean, there's been a number of those. I mean, it's the thing. I think the thing for me is just like, where do you think she started at?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the first month of her career, she had a 4 1/4 match in the Grand Prix final against Mayu. She's a month in her career. Who the fuck else is doing that?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these.
When we saw her, when we saw her in New York City, and you gave her white belt match with Momo 4.5 stars. I gave it 4 1/4. She at that point in time was what?
Less than a year.
Oh, okay. Let's do this. September, October, November, December, January, March, before it even officially got. So let's say, yeah, she was 6-7 months in her career when she had that match.
Maybe it's her stoic kind of nature. Like she doesn't jump off the page that she can really like pull you in. But I'm like, yo, she fucking fights like the match. That's what the matches are for. Like
what I will say is this: she is way better as a singles wrestler than a tag wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
She is. But the problem, but the thing is, like, ain't the singles matches that we all mostly rate people on anyway? So how the fuck is she only at 8.3?
Yeah, there are people that are. I'm reading like some of the reviews. It says she's got maybe some of that Roman Reigns stuff going on with.
Oh, people upset about her push. Oh, fuck off.
That she doesn't really like connect with people like as a babyface and stuff like that. Like, I don't know.
She's one of the best sellers in the world, though. So it's like I don't. Okay, like, say for me personally. I can get like the issues, whatever else. But once you start reeling off every rip, like you win a title in a 4.5 star match or a 4.25, 4.5 star match. Your first defense is 4.5 stars. Your second defense is like 4 flat stars. Your third defense is like 4 flat to 4.25. Your next defense after that. I don't even remember what she did at the 4 show. The B Priestley match is almost 4.5, right?
Yeah.
The
Shuri match.
Then the Shuri match is like one of the best matches of the year, unquestionably. It just has a shitty finish. Like, if that match has a decent finish, we both give that match 5 stars easily, right? Most people, people thinking it's like the third best match of the year amongst like the wrestling nerds. Then the match after that, She has like the best match you see out of NASCAR tournament where she into NASCAR tours her ACL. Then she goes on this run in the Grand Prix that's fucking awesome. The first night she has a 4-star match. Second night she has like another 4-star match. The final she has a 4.5 star match with Tam in the final night. And then she has this match. What the fuck are people talking about?
I'm looking at her 8 title matches here, and it's
they're all fucking bangers except for one, and it took somebody having to tear their ACL to not get it.
Yeah, I think people were mistaken on this one, James.
Like, if you don't think that she, okay, I think the problem is people are misconstruing her having a dry sense of humor with like her not being charismatic. And it's like, I think this keeps happening with Western fans when it comes to Japanese wrestlers. Like, I don't think that Sonata or Maika or Utami are just fucking sticks in the mud. I think these people have a calm demeanor about them that doesn't portray like they're Jushin Thunder Liger. And that's okay. Not everybody can be Tanahashi or Jushin Thunder Liger or Tam Nakano or anybody else is ridiculously, or Kairi Hojo, and be ridiculously charismatic in that way. Like, there are layers to this, and like, I feel like there is a calm charisma to this person. Like, I guess it's similar to Roman Reigns thing. It's like, it's there. I guess it's not in the traditional sense of being there, but like, it's there, and like, people are misconstruing it as it being boring, and it's like, look, man, you be as boring as you want to. Once these fucking 4.5 pluses start reeling off, we gotta change what we're saying about this person as far as move to move, action to action in the ring. This person gets it.
Look,
unquestionably.
There was a list that came out. I forgot who ran it. There was like the top 25 wrestlers under 25. You know, number 1 was Utami Hayashishita. Like, and I had described her to Swerve, who had not seen her work necessarily. And I told him, she's going to be someone we're talking about like they talk about the women from the 90s. Like, she's like going to be a legend.
She's like, 22, I think.
Yeah.
Or 22, 23.
Yeah.
Because she's at least a year older than Momo. No. So that means she's like 22 or 23. Yeah.
Like, she's going to get all the big title matches. The Booker clearly loves her.
This isn't her own. She's going to have another run after this with the belt. Like, this is her beginning run. Like, she's going to, like, she's not necessarily the ace right now, but like, she's going to get another run that's going to be a quote unquote ace run, and it's probably going to be better than this. And it's like, who the fuck else has a better title run than her right now? This year.
Yeah, it's
Omega maybe, and who else?
I would definitely put her above Roman Reigns. No one's broken off the top rope in any of her matches. Yeah, man. Shingo, stuff like that.
Shingo's definitely worth mentioning, but Shingo's only had the belt for like half a year.
Yeah, she's coming. This is like a year with this shit, right?
November 15th will be a full year.
Okay, so
we're like 11 months in.
Yeah, man. If that's like the narrative that's out there about her, I think those people are.
I don't think that's the overall narrative, but I think you see stuff online I've seen enough of it where it's like there is a hive of people that think like she's boring, and I'm just like, dude, I don't like. Maybe she's not as she's not like the most like versatile. Like
is it fun? Why is it not fun to them watching her wrestle? Like
I don't know. Maybe like she's not flashy, but it's like neither was Jungle, and it's like she's not traditionally as charismatic as Jungle was, where she's all this heart and passion involved or whatever. Just
push on,
right? Just out in front and like screaming and all that kind of stuff. But like I feel like she has these bomb throwing contests with other women that are like of her let's say discipline, if you will, and then like they go to fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't understand. I just don't understand it. Like I get having a taste, or whatever else, but like in the tag stuff, because granted, like I did not like her and Kamatani's tag matches when they were tag champs. I did not. But like Utami's a singles performer, and like she has great singles matches. She does. So it's like, okay, she's not a good tag wrestler or the greatest tag wrestlers. Who gives a fuck when she's a singles champion and she's having these kind of matches on a consistent basis?
Right.
But anyway, so I missed the after ranting off about the Tam and Mayu thing. Like after that match, Tam more or less like gets on the mic and was like, I can't believe that like why have I spent so much time trying to surpass you when like for what fucking reason? Now, they're both there in a heap, just fucking destroyed. I forgot I don't know what Mayu said after that, but she walks off, and then like Unagi shows up and she's like, "Hey, remember when I beat you on some fluke shit at the first night of the Grand Prix? I want my title shot." And Tam's like, "If this is what you want to do, all right." And so they're set for they're set for the Kawasaki Super Wars, Rich, at the pay-per-view in November 3rd. So going to the main event again after Utami hits Takumi and wins after the Black Tiger Bomb, Hazuki shows up and says, "I would like a title shot." And then Micah comes out, and given that Michael beat Utami in the first night of the Grand Prix, she was like, "Hey, like I actually beat her. Like I want my title shot." So I'm assuming that like so they gave it to Hazuki. So it'll be Hazuki and Utami. Came out. Oh yeah. So I'm just want to talk about the two top matches. So you're gonna Tam and Unagi, which is like. That's a real big spot for Unagi. And then that might not main event. They might put the SWA. It's going to be
Utami versus Hazuki.
Yes. So they're giving it to Hazuki, and that match should be great because oh my god, like I don't think they've ever wrestled in a single match before, and like just the stuff that Utami can do throwing Hazuki around, and like Hazuki, big match Hazuki is fucking incredible. So that's going to be fun. Also, the SWA match, that's probably what's going to actually really be going on in the main event. Shuri versus Azumi. They continue, like, their rivalry, or not their story from this year, where, like, it's just, like, they have great matches together, great chemistry, and, like, it's about time they put on a big stage. Like, this is the biggest match of Azumi's life, in theory. We already know how it's going to go off. You already know what's going to happen.
I can't wait for another big Shuri match.
Yeah. So
I was stolen from over this past weekend.
Yeah. So like I said earlier in the show, like there's 4 pay-per-views in out the year. There is the November 3rd Kawasaki Super Wars. There is the November 27th Tokyo Super Wars, and then on December 18th, they're basically doing like a 1-year anniversary of their Osaka Indian Arena 1 show from last year where they had the Utami and Momo match. December 18th, the Osaka Super Wars, and then they'll have the Sumo Hall show on the 29th of December. So, yeah, man. So, Rich, when are they gonna have the Dunedin Super Wars?
Hey, whenever they have them, I'll be there.
Okay.
You know, so I know people wanted us to talk about the Rock on this rap song. I actually did a reaction video, which will be uploaded on my YouTube channel. I'll make sure I get the link to James to include in the link to the show notes. So you'll get my thoughts as a MC on this, but it was quite comical. Just as a preview, seeing it as how, like, you know, I don't necessarily associate the Rock with rap. I don't know, you know, it don't like quite jive for me, but The Rock was in college in like the early 90s, so that tells you like what his age and is and how he may sound delivering his words. It may not necessarily align with the youth. Did you happen to hear it? Did you just catch it on Twitter, James? Did you listen to the song?
I saw a video clip of him rapping a few bars, and I was like, why is this old nigga rapping like a young nigga? I was like, what is this? Is, you know what? You know what it reminded me of? Do you remember the feature? Do you remember the feature that Common was on a Big Sean's track, and it was any man called himself Cadillac Common. I was like, why is this old nigga rapping like a young nigga? Like this when did Common Sense join the Migos? This is when did Dwayne join the Migos? So yeah, same thing. It's just like I get it. It's fine. You know, it would have made more sense if that man was hip hop. It started out in the park. We used to rip and roll until it used to get dark.
Yo, I kind of talked about it's Tech Nine, it's two other rappers, and then The Rock's the last verse. So like
The Rock rapping with Tech Nine.
Yes, so that's why he was rapping fast.
Man, look, bro, I'm telling you this right now. Keith Lee finna play the shit out of that.
Yes, bro. Yes, Keith Lee's gonna enjoy this. Between the Tom McDonald songs, he's gonna throw this one on. It's full stadium music on the chorus. There's two other guys on there. I was like, yo, if you're those two guys, you have two jobs on this. A, don't get out rapped by The Rock.
You can't take that back to the trap.
You cannot take that back to the hood. Nothing. Like don't get
out rap by The Rock. He don't even do this.
Right. And B, just sound.
Oh man.
Just kill it as best you can because you likely this is the biggest look
song you ever
might ever be on. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You got a lot of eyes on you, and I. Like the whole song is like nothing but like fast rap, so it's like it's nothing I listen to on a regular basis or anything. But I encourage people to check it out. I'm putting the reaction video up, and there's I do my own commentary over it and tell jokes and shit like that. So it's pretty funny.
Oh man, The Rock has started rapping in 2000.
Yeah, bro. Like anything can happen. So. I just want to know what helped him with that verse. The Rock claims that he wrote the verse and he did it in one take. I don't believe either of those things.
Look, man, The Rock is a worker. Whatever he says, I'll
right.
Sure.
That man, that man's working the gimmick, like he said on the Young Rock show. Ain't no fucking way. No fucking way. Like this man out here, like punching in, like it sounded like ain't no way, bro. None. I've been rapping too long. No way you roll out of bed and just do that in one take your first time. Like, I don't care if you had $7 in your pocket. I'm glad he didn't say that in the rhyme. Or else I would have thrown my headphones off the joint. But yeah, I don't care if you're the hardest worker in the room. Ain't no way you walking in on your first time rapping that damn fast and just doing it one take. Get the fuck out of here, Dwayne.
Look, man, I ain't got really much to say about the thing. I only heard of like the first like four, maybe I saw 8 bars or heard 8 bars of it, but whatever. Like, I was like, okay, I don't know what this is for. Like, what was it for? Was it just to do it, or
just to do it? Like, it sounded like, and he promoted the liquor in the video, so it's probably a commercial essentially for that, or
okay.
I don't know, but I don't expect to hear no Rock mixtape no time soon.
I do not.
But it's 2021, so stranger things have happened.
I do not want a The Rock mixtape. Do you want a The Rock mixtape? Because I do not want a The Rock mixtape. No, thank you.
Yeah. So, like, John Cena had to be furious when he saw this, right?
I mean, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know.
Look, Wiz.
God damn it. Yeah, he did do that. Wiz. Why they had you punch in and do that, man?
They should have never let Cena spit with Wiz Khalifa.
What was the dismount on his verse? He's like, somebody middle finger. He's like, I'm holding the other one. I was like, okay, buddy. I guess some bars dry up when you can't say homophobic shit, huh?
I'm telling you, it gets tough. Cold in the D. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, y'all. Be sure to rate us on whatever app you're using to listen to this with. And also go to Red Circle and drop us off a donation. We work hard for you. We just gave y'all boys like over damn near 3 hours.
Great reviews.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. What else are we supposed to
do? The bits on Twitch, all that shit. I don't know how it all works, but
there you go. Twitch. Yeah. That's what I was forgot. Also, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Social Suplex and pick up some official Social Suplex Network merchandise. And check out the other shows on the network besides One Nation Radio. You got Keepin It Strong Style. You got the Ricky Clive Wrestling Show. You have Grumman Wash's shit. You have the Grave Consequences podcast. You have FS Suplex. You have All Things Elite. And you have Great Match Generator. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later. Peace.
Bundling home and car insurance with Geico is so easy, your neighbors are probably already doing it. But who? They may drop little hints like,
beautiful day out. Even more beautiful since we saved by bundling our home and car insurance with Geico.
Or,
yard work is hard. Much harder than bundling with Geico, which was easy.
Or it may be even subtler, like,
speaking of burgers, we bundled our home and car insurance with Geico and saved a bunch of money.
Bundling is easy with Geico. Just ask your neighbors.
And now it's Geico's Motorcycle Rules of the Road. Before you ride, make sure your mirrors are clean and adjusted properly. And if you're going on a group ride, make sure the lead biker knows where they're going.
Ed, quick question. Where are you taking us?
Oh, I have no idea. Well, am I the leader? Because I was following that dude with the red helmet. Where is he?
And the rule to saving on motorcycle insurance is, in 15 minutes, Geico could save you 15% or more.